What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Come on in and hit that like button. Hit that like button on your way in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Excuse me. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come on into the chat. Let me know where you're checking in from. Okay. We got Ocala, Florida in the building on the road. So you listening. We just need you to listen. We don't need you to look. We just need you to listen, Joe. But appreciate you checking in. Let me know where you're checking in from as you come in. Hit that like button as you come in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, well, I'm going to be giving powerful tips on growing your box truck cargo van business. All right. So, I mean, some of these tips can be applied to just any business in general. These are some tips and some things um, that I used early on. And some of them apply, with hands-on tips as far as actually doing the work. And then some of these things is just mindset tips. So I'm going to interchange between the two, mindset and actually hands-on tips on growing your business. I think a lot of people, uh, you know, uh, don't really understand um, business. So I'm going to give some business tips tonight. As you come on in, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. Let me know you're checking in. Tony checking in from New Jersey. Got Orange County. It's the walk. I know you checking in from Ohio. Free Game Trapper Orlando. We got VA. Shout out to all the Mentor Gang members. That's what I'm gonna call you. Everybody that signs up for membership on YouTube. I'm gonna coin y'all the mentor gang. So we're gonna call y'all mentor gang members. Since y'all members and y'all part of the gang, and I'm Mark the mentor, y'all mentor gang members in a good way. Y'all part of a good gang. All right, it's the good gang. All right. All right. Shout out to everybody that's checking in. Shout out to all my mentees that live in Wisconsin that's been um, torturing me for the past couple hours because Green Bay beat the Bears. So shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Pippi Shortstocking in the building. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Shout out to On Track Trucking. I just got off his channel. We're gonna be doing a show. Well, I'm gonna be on his show next week. So he's gonna he's gonna start promoting it, and we're gonna be talking about Amazon. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but that's what's gonna be on. So I'll be on his show in the earlier part of the day next week, and then I'll be on here at 8. All right. All right, come on in, guys. Hit that like button, hit that like button. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, so before we get started tonight, a few things I want to talk about again. All right, because I got to keep readdressing some things, reiterating some things. I don't think it's just not people aren't getting it. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But first thing I want to talk about is these rental trucks. I know I talked about them Thursday, but like y'all, if I tell you every day I get DMs about rental trucks, you know, at this point, as far as the rental truck's concerned, it's just a situation where it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't think rental truck companies are going to retract back to pre-pandemic prices anytime soon. Anytime soon, as long as this global chip shortage is going on, and long as the manufacturing is still down, it doesn't look like that's going to tick back up. I don't think they have any plans of ticking back up. I think um, dealers have got accustomed to the way things have been for the past couple of years on an order system, and I think they're accustomed to it. Um, and I just don't think the rental truck prices or the way things were prior to the pandemic, as far as the prices are concerned, man, it ain't looking too good. I don't think we're gonna go. We might not go back to those prices, and if so, it's not going to be no time soon. So I think people need to start uh, adjusting to the new norm, and figuring something out. Like, the prices are the prices. All right. You know, a few months ago there was still that uncertainty, but I mean it's December now and it's getting worse. And on top of the prices, um you just got all the scams with the rental trucks, you know. So with the scams, they're gonna put, like I said, those restrictions, those stipulations, right? As far as the down payment and all those like stipulations to kind of deter new people coming into the industry away. The 2 years of in business, 2 years, brick and mortar, the high down payments, anything they can do to deter new people. And I told y'all about that scam that's going on, why they're doing it, because people running off with the trucks, you know what I'm saying? So they sending people in there, whether it's a guy sending a girl in or you find a hype, you know what I'm saying, you can send in or whoever, you know, you sending somebody in, you burning them up. They going in knowing they burning themselves up willingly. Some people not knowing that they getting sent in there to burn their name up, you know what I'm saying? So once they uh, go through the rental process, the initial rental process, as far as whatever they have to put initially down, then that's the only thing they coughing up, and then they gone. So you know, people burning up their names or having people sending people in there burning their names up, things of that nature. So as long as people running off and doing that, then those stipulations are going to get, you know, harder and harder and harder for new people coming in. And then on top of that, you know, when, you know, the rental truck business, their truck is their business. So that's also making it difficult as well, you know, because the more trucks that are out there, people aren't paying for it, you know, the harder it is for them to make money. So that's that, guys. You know, I really don't know what else to say about rental trucks. You can try Coop, you can try truck sharing. Um, but as far as the rental truck business, I don't see pre-pandemic numbers anytime soon. Another thing, real quick, I did this video yesterday on the Amazon bots. Now I said in the video, don't go purchase these bots. But yet and still, I get DMs. Somebody actually even put in the comments like, man, where can I find one of these bots? Or can you give me the name of? Listen, I didn't do the video to tell you to go do the bots. I did the video to let people know that, you know, there are people out there giving themselves a competitive edge by using the bot. So I just wanted to put the information out there to let people know, hey, this is probably another reason why you're not seeing certain loads because these bots are snatching them. I found out about them through a buddy of mine that does flex, and she noticed that she wasn't getting orders that she used to, and somebody at the place, one of the facilities here, put her on to the bots and said a lot of people are using those bots, so they're able to snatch those blocks before. And it's just same like if you guys, like I said in the video, if you guys are on the sneakers app and you taking L on the sneakers app, the bot has the shoe sitting in the cart, you know, before it even goes live. Same situation. So, but I don't recommend you guys use the bots because, you know, the difference between an Amazon Flex bot and an Amazon Relay bot, for instance, versus a sneakers bot, like this is your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? This is your livelihood. This is how you earn a living. You know, there's some people in the forums and the reviews that said they've gotten kicked off the Relay by Amazon for using the bots. There's some people that said that they haven't had any they haven't had any warnings or gotten kicked off. It's been running fine. And some people said they've gotten warnings from Amazon as far as, you know, using the bot. So like, once again, disclaimer, the whole purpose of the video was to let you know. I said it in the video, I put it in the description, and I've said it again. I'm not going to give you any bots. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, you know what I'm saying, to find them, but I don't recommend you using them because you're running yourself at risk. It was just to, you know, let people know that, you know, there are people out there giving themselves a competitive edge. Anything you do now, where you're bidding against someone else or you're in a competition to get something that's highly sought after, there's a script for it. All right. There's a script. There's somebody that knows how to code, that's gonna try to capitalize on an opportunity to write a script for a bot. So Amazon Relay, I think I saw a Dat Low board by Amazon Flex. You got them all in the sneakers, for the sneakers, So anything that has something that people are bidding and after, that's placed at a certain value, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a script, or if not, eventually someone's going to start writing a script for it, a code for a bot. And then once that first bot gets put out there, then you're going to have other coders. They're going to try to take advantage of the opportunity, because the way they get paid, they charge you on a subscription basis. You're going to pay them every month. You know what I'm saying? And if you're winning at it, you know what I'm saying? If you're winning at it, then you're going to have no problem paying, because the competition is already fierce. So not only is the bot snatching those good paying loads for you, you putting the parameters in, right? So not only is it snatching those good paying loads for you before anyone else sees them, it's working for you 24 hours a day. So, when you're not looking, you can't look on the load board all day and all night. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not looking on it, once you set your parameters and you put the auto book in, it's going to auto book whatever you have set based on the parameters you want, right? It's going to auto book it for you if something pops up within those parameters, and it's going to book it before pretty much anyone else sees it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes. Disclaimer: I don't recommend you use them. I just wanted to put that information out there, because once I found out about it, I mentioned on the live Thursday, and I said I wasn't going to do a video, but I said, you know what? It's probably best that I put this information out, because eventually they're going to get really, really popular. And if I can let people know that they exist, and be the first one early on to, let you know they exist, and deter you away from using them, giving you the negative effect of what they can do in the long term, then that's what's the purpose of the video, for you guys to stay away from. All right, so I'm not going to give you no bot. Don't ask me. Those people that message me, I'm not going to give you the information. All right, you got to figure it out for your own. If you want to throw your relay, whatever contract down the drain, if you want to, that's on you. So it is what it is. All right. Shout out to Mississippi in the building. Detroit is in the building. Interstate Screw, Grand Rapids, Michigan in the building. Hey, Mark, can you find financing box truck with 0 down payment? Yeah. You're gonna have to have really good personal credit, and you're gonna have to personally guarantee it. All right. So I don't know how easy that'll be in today's times, with what's going on in the economy, and the Fed adding those basis points to the banks, because they're passing all those points over to the consumer. So it may be a little bit more difficult now than it was years prior, but I've done it. It was years ago, but it may be a little bit difficult now, but it can be done. Yes, you're gonna have to personally guarantee it, though, especially if your business is new and you haven't purchased anything, you don't have any history. Let me see. Sounds like posted truck on steroids. Yeah, but yeah, posted truck on steroids. You can call it that. All right, so I'm gonna get into this presentation tonight. I did bullet points. So I'm gonna pull that up. Hit that like button as you come into the room. Shout out to Kirk in the building from On Track Trucking. He had a good live tonight, so make sure you guys go check out his channel at On Track Trucking. Real informative for you guys that run middle mile. I know I had a guy in here last week that went to Montana. He's probably in here now. I told him to go check out his channel. He went to Montana. The broker sent him off. I always hear Kirk talking about Montana. He got sent off, went to Montana. I guess the broker couldn't find nobody to go to Montana. So he told me if he went to Montana, he would have a load for him coming back to North Carolina. So he's driving through Thanksgiving, goes up to Montana, drops that load. And sure enough, there was no load coming back. So, he's new, and the broker saw that he was new and green and took advantage of the situation. But On Track Trucking, Kirk, he has all the sauce for you middle mile guys that run partials and things of that nature to help you prevent tricky situations like that. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get into this presentation real quick. All right, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Hit that like button as you come in. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. I put a poll in the chat. If you could be kindly put that information in the poll. I just want to get an idea of where everyone is currently at right now, as far as if they're good, they're just getting by, or like you're on your last leg with this trucking thing. Because then I'm probably going to further that in the weeks to come to try to figure out why. I know the spot market, right? I know um I know the spot market rates is below cost right now. I know a lot of people are paying high insurance. I understand the rental truck rates are very high, and I know I went on a spiel the other day about if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But I want to make sure that the people that are struggling, it's not something outside of overhead. I'm thinking most people is because of these truck rentals, and just other overhead expenses that for some strange reason people don't want to come out of these expensive rentals. So I just trying to see something so that will further let me know how I need to approach things going forward. All right, so let's get into this real quick. Let's get into this. All right, so let me pull this away. What is this? Oh yeah. All right. So let's get into it. All right, we're gonna talk about powerful tips to grow your cargo van and box truck business. Powerful tips to grow your cargo van, box truck business. All right. All right, so I got 3 levels of growth that I always talk about. I know there's 5 levels of growth. I did a whole presentation a couple months back on the 5 levels of growth, but here is I also have my own personal 3 levels of growth that have, made me successful in a lot of different things, and a lot of different business that I've started throughout my entrepreneurial career. All right. And I consider those crawl, walk, run. All right. Start off small. Don't bite off more than you can chew. All right. So one thing that I'm seeing that a lot of people did, a lot of these people have already exited, but going forward, just to put it out there, when you're starting any type of business, especially a business like this, especially in the times that we're in with the exorbitant costs, it's high, it's expensive to get into the box truck business now. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. All right. You want to start small. You want to start from humble beginnings, I like to say, kind of grassroots the thing. And here's why. I know everybody says, well, if I get 2 trucks, then I'm going to make double the money. 3 trucks, I'm going to make triple the money. 4 trucks, I'm going to quadruple the money. So on and so forth. And what happens is, even if you had the capital to jump out there with X amount of trucks, the issue is you've never did this business before. So I always talk about this learning curve that you're going to have to go through. And those losses that you're going to take in the beginning, those losses are going to be amplified times however many vehicles you jump into the industry with. So if you jump in with 2, then your loss is going to be times 2, 3 times 3. All right. If you start off with 1 vehicle, all right, and you go through the learning curve with the first vehicle and learn at a minimal cost, you'll come out a lot better. There's nothing wrong with starting off small. All right. Eventually you'll be able to scale. It takes a lot to scale. And I don't think a lot of people understand all the variables that go in to scaling outside of the amount of money that they're going to be grossing times however many trucks they want to run. There's a lot of other variables that a lot of people overlook. And then what happens is they get out here in this jam, and then you come to me and you're running 3-4 trucks, and then I have to tell you, well, you know what? You need to get rid of 3 trucks, and then you'll make some money. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people's issues is they're not at a point where they're going to be able to make money successfully at scale. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's hard to even scale right now. All right. Another thing is a lot of people want to get into this industry, right? And they want to use it as second income or multiple another stream of revenue, I should say. It's kind of hard right now to use the box truck industry in certain lanes as an additional stream of income. You got people that are out here in their own vehicle that are operating at a loss. All right. So now once you add a driver into the mix, you're operating at a loss. All right. So you really got to do your due diligence getting into this thing before you get into it, especially at a time like this where costs are very the rate the spot market rate the spot market rate is very low, right? Insurance is high, rental trucks are high if you decide to go that route. Box truck prices are still, you know what I'm saying, they're kind of up there. They're slowly coming down. CDL box truck are actually very, very low. You can get a good, decent CDL box truck for 15, 20, 25, 30,000. All right. For some reason, they're keeping those non-CDL box trucks up there around the 50 to $65,000 range. It's a lot. It was not a lot lower, but it's lower than it was earlier this year, around the 85, 90. But I noticed once it got down to that 50, 55, 60, 65, it's been kind of holding there. And the few trucks that are non-CDL that do drop below that, they go very quickly. All right. So you kind of want to start out small, learn the business, and just kind of grow gradually, and the money will come. You know, you don't want to jump out the window too quick. And I saw a lot of people do that earlier this year, last year. Find your niche, learn your market. Another issue. All right. People don't think about. People tell me, like, I never heard of Final Mile until I saw your videos. And that just lets me know that they never did their research. They came up on their PPP money. And I'm just joking with the PPP money for humor. So people come up with the money, whatever. They do a little research. They see a Bandman Kevo video or whoever video they saw on YouTube. The bright idea pops into their head. They run out and they go get a box truck and they think Amazon or they think load board. And there's other ways to make money in a box truck. And then what happens is when they get into a jam, they want to try to pivot into another lane, and then they go really do the research. But the research that they're doing now, once they get into the jam, they should have did prior. You should know all the niches and all the lanes prior to you investing your money. All right. And then learning these niches, learning these lanes, because guess what? Every market is different. You need to know what niche works for you in your market. And the only way you're going to do that is by doing your due diligence. You got to know your target market. All right. Know what you want to do. All right. Your target market. Do you want to do business to business? In other words, in this industry, dot to dot, we're talking about box trucks, right? Or do you want to do final mile warehouse fulfillment center to the consumer? So dot to dot, you're dealing with a business, right? Business to business. Final mile, you're dealing with a business to a consumer. All right. So two different lanes, middle mile, final mile. Like I said, a lot of people said, man, until I saw your videos, I don't even know what final mile was. So you want to do your research, because guess what? You may live in Florida and everybody knows ain't nothing in Florida. So final mile may work better for you. You may be in a market where opportunities are limited, and you may be able to find employment a little bit easier than, let's say, a person like me who's in a place where opportunity is plentiful. And in this, in this current economy where a lot of people are struggling with employment, it's harder here. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know your target market. You got to know your market. You got to know what works best for you and your market. All right. You might be in a market, like I said, let's use Florida again, where it's not much coming outbound out of Florida, but there's opportunity for final mile. There's also opportunity for final mile parcel, where you might be able to make more money, and there's more opportunity in vans. You may be in Orlando, Florida, where you have a lot of timeshares and a lot of rental, vacation rental properties, vacation rental homes. And guess what? The thing with the vacation rental properties and vacation rental homes, they're turning over that furniture every so often. I don't know what the turnover time is, but when they have a lot of traffic into these rental homes, into these rental timeshares or what have you, and they're turning over that furniture more often than you would turn over your furniture in your home, or I would turn my furniture in my home, because of the high traffic. they're making the money, right? So in Orlando, Florida, if I go research that market, I'm willing to bet final mile delivery for furniture is very high because it's a tourist place. All right. So we know that Florida is not good with outbound middle mile freight, but I'm willing to bet if I go look at that market, Orlando would be good for final mile delivery from a furniture aspect. And I know this just off the top of my head because I know the business. But if you do your research coming into the industry, that's something that you would find out if you were researching that market. So you kind of want to know your market. All right. Be hands on. Going back to what I was saying a few minutes ago about the stream of income. All right. There was once upon a time, and it still may be for some people, but once upon a time, you could do this as a second stream of income and come out good. Right now, I don't see it. Me personally, I don't see it, especially if you're coming in with a rental truck or you're coming in with a box truck with an expensive note. Like that room, that little margin that you have that you would pretty much pay yourself. Now that's going to a driver. So now you're either operating at a loss or you're barely breaking even. All right. So I think entering into the space now, um, especially with middle mile, final mile, you have a small little. If you enter correctly, you have a small little uh, room for margin to make some money. But middle mile, there may be some people out there that are operating at very minimal cost. Their truck may be paid for, but like I said, if you're renting a truck, right? You're paying this high diesel, you're renting a truck, and you're renting a 2022, or they gave you a 2023. Now your insurance is high, right? And you're paying your driver plus all the other variable costs that are coming out your pocket weekly. There, I just don't see that much room. So entering nines, you probably want to. It's best that you do it with you being on the truck and kind of being hands on. All right. Be competitive. Now, here's something that I don't think a lot of people really understand. You got to give yourself an unfair advantage. All right. Now, when I say an unfair advantage, I'm not saying like a bot. Yeah, a bot is giving yourself an unfair advantage, clearly, because you're getting everything before anyone else gets it. You see it before anyone else. You get it before it even touches the board. All right. That's giving yourself an unfair advantage, but I don't recommend that one. A way, let's say, for middle mile, a person that has an unfair advantage in middle mile, let's say, is someone who, let's say, who has a plug with a broker. So while little Johnny over here, who just got his box truck, is scouring the load board within his first 90 days, but you got your first 90 days and you got a plug with a broker because this is your sister's boyfriend or whatever the case. I'm just making something up so that you can understand what I'm saying when I say unfair advantage. And he works for, let's say, C.H. Robinson or something. He said, well, once you get in, I'm going to give me your DOT. I'm going to funnel you all the good loads. Anything that I get that's high paying, that's coming out of Illinois, I'm going to shoot it to you first. That's unfair advantage. You know what I'm saying? That's unfair advantage. You have to find a way to give your business an unfair advantage. I had unfair advantages when I was running a few accounts because I always was able to lean on the logistics companies because I knew every day one of the other ICs from another company wasn't going to show up. So I always had a truck and a guy on standby. You know what I'm saying? My competitive edge was I had trucks. You know, a lot of these ICs, was just them and their truck and them and their crew. I was always a master IC. I've always been a master IC. I don't think they use that term anymore. I haven't heard it in some years now. But a master IC is a person who has a fleet of vehicles. So every day I would get that call. Hey, Mark, you got another truck. We had this guy. So that always gave me a competitive edge because I was always able to lean on them for prices and things of that nature. And I would always get a guarantee. Logistics companies hate giving guarantees, right? But I was able to use that to get a guarantee because guess what? This guy is reliable. His trucks are always here. And when these other retards don't show up for their route, right? He always comes through for us. So we got to kind of keep him around until something else better comes along, and then we'll get rid of him, right? So I was always able to take advantage of that. All right. So you have to find a competitive edge for yourself over the competition, because everyone's competing, especially like that Amazon, that the whole thing, that low board is a competition of who can get to the best stuff first. You see what I'm saying? So everything is a competition, you know. So what can you do better than your competition? How will you outperform them? It's another thing. What can you do better? Let's get out of middle mile. Let's talk about final mile. What can you do better? All right, final mile, you know what? My crew hasn't gotten a claim in 6 months, but this crew steady's getting claims, right? So we have a competitive edge because we're not costing the company, even though the claim rolls downhill, we're going to pay for it. Still, you know, the logistics company gets dinged. They're rated by whoever the retailer is. That's why logistics companies lose accounts. You know, logistics companies lose accounts because they're not performing well. All right. They get rated by the retailer. All right. So you're able to, you know, kind of give yourself that competitive edge on better routes. In my market, a lot of people don't want to do final mile in the city, right? Because you got second, you got third floors, you got fourth floor walk-ups here. People order patio furniture. You might have to walk up 5 flights, you know, to a sky deck roof or whatever. You have these buildings were built in the 1900s, late 1800s, 1920s, where furniture was not as big and bulky and just big as it is. But guess what? These buildings were still built back then, and a lot of this furniture getting in some of these apartment buildings, these 2 flats, 3 flats, whatever. There's a lot of obstacles and twisting and turning to get some of this stuff in. So, you know, final mile here, a lot of companies rather do it in the suburbs because they're ranch style homes. They have side door, patio doors, so you can just slide the patio door and walk the stuff. It's easier in and out versus dealing with all the obstacles in the city, right? So your competitive edge, let's say if you're not one of those ICs that just have claims just stacking up, the crews that don't have the claims, that have a good rating, you know, they can, hey, you know what, I want that route. And 9 times out of 10, they'll just give it to you. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you that competitive edge. There's many ways you can get competitive edge. You just have to figure out what you're doing, what niche you're in, and figure out what you can do to get a competitive edge versus all the other competition. Surround yourself with successful people. Now, here's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially when they're first starting their business and they're coming up, especially people that grew up in urban environments, you know, things of that nature. You may have to let some people go. A lot of people struggle with this. All right. This is not one of them hands-on tips. This is some life stuff right here, right? You got to surround your people with like-minded people. When I say like-minded as far as ambitious and goal-driven. They might not want to be box trucker or cargo van, things of that nature, but they're ambitious and they're goal-driven. All right. If you came up with people and you got ambitions, you want to do this, you want to go to the next level with your company, but you still hanging around people that don't want nothing out of life, that's waking up at 4 in the afternoon, that's up all night drinking and smoking and hanging out and do whatever it is they got to do. All right, you're not going to get ahead. All right, you need to surround yourself with people that are successful. All right, because that's going to rub off on you, and your success is going to rub off on them. You want to build people up with you that are successful, and they're going to build you up. Because guess what? Being an entrepreneur is risky, and I say this all the time. All right, it's a risky thing. You may be doing good for a good 7 years, and then boom, you may hit a brick wall. All right, now if you're hanging around a bunch of people who are just hanger-ons, who don't got nothing, don't want nothing in life, you don't have nobody to turn to. If everybody around you is successful, you got somebody to turn to because you're going to pull them up. And if they hit a brick wall, you're going to be there to pull them up. All right. You don't want to be around people that don't want nothing out of life. All right. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to get successful. And if you do get successful, still hanging around people who don't want nothing out of life, you know what's going to happen? If you do make it and you still keep these people around you, that's when the jealousy and envy come in. And it's like a crab in the barrel mentality, and they're going to try to pull you back down. They're going to try to pull you back down. All right. Trust me. I know. I've been there. I don't have any friends. I got very few friends. I can count them on one hand, and I have some fingers left over. Everybody else is associates. Listen, I can count my friends on one hand and still have some fingers left over. All right. Everybody else is associates. Everybody else is associates. You know what I'm saying? So surround yourself with solid people. Solid people. All right. That's a big, probably out of everything that I'm talking about tonight, to me, that's the most important. That's the most important. Surround yourself with good people. Another issue, I see a lot of people, and this is where, and the last two things, this one and the one before that, this is for like my people and specific. All right. It's for everybody, but I'm really speaking to my people specific. So this last one right here, all right, surround yourself with successful people. And I'm not saying, leave your people behind and things of that nature. But guess what? Some people just don't understand. They'll never see your vision. So some people you can't change. And I had to realize that. You see what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, once you start surrounding yourself with people or surrounding yourself with the friends that you came up with that are excelling, that won out of life, everybody else you gotta leave behind. If you don't leave them behind and you get to a certain plateau, I'm telling you, that's where the jealousy and envy is gonna come in and they're gonna pull you down. All right. Next one, reinvest heavily back into your business. Once you start seeing success, reinvest the money back into your business. That's how your business is gonna grow. All right, it's not going to grow. Okay, a lot of people saw a lot of money last year. A lot of people jumped into the box truck industry last year because they came up on this money, right? Even though they jumped in when costs were high, right? Unbeknownst to them, right? They were making money, right? Because rates were high. They just didn't know what was in store 7, 8, 9 months down the line, right? All right. So what happened was they were making this money, and everything the people who were on YouTube at that time that don't make content anymore, that was telling them to get in, you finna make $1 million and all this, that, and the third, they actually had some type of hopium. It was there because they were making some money, right? So what did they do? Man, Dodge made a lot of money, right? They went out and bought the SRT 392, Hellcat, some people, who else made some money? Mercedes made some money. You had some people go out and bought the they didn't get the 2022 thing because they taxing on that thing. They charging $100 over sticker for that thing, that G63 thing. So they went out and bought the 2018, 2019. They wanted to get the one with the fall guy so they could tell you it was a 2022. So they went on here and dropped $123,000 on that thing, right? So they riding slick. Right? And that money that they spending on that note, right, for that $123,000 Benz, right, or that $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 Hellcat, right, that money they spending every month could be reinvested back into the business. All right, it could be getting reinvested back into the business, whether it's paying off debt that you have, purchasing more equipment, building, our issue is we think that because we are a business owner, we're supposed to look like a business owner. And I get it. You wanna bask in your success or whatever, and you want to reward yourself, but you can't really reward yourself in the first year. You haven't even turned over a profit. You're still paying a truck note. If you're in a rental truck, what the hell are you doing driving $123,000 G-Wagon? I don't care if it's 3 or 4 years old. If you're still renting a truck, why are you buying a G-Wagon? Why are you buying a Hellcat? Why are you investing money into personal things to further your look than reinvesting the money that you're earning back into the business? Because guess what? A lot of people that were making money then wish they wouldn't have bought the things that they bought now. Because what's going on now, they didn't see it coming because they got sold a dream. You see what I'm saying? But that first year, you shouldn't be purchasing anything. You haven't turned over a profit yet. You see what I'm saying? You should be reinvesting heavily back into your business. Now, everybody's situation is different. All right. Everybody's situation is different. Some people jump into business at a later age in life, right? Some people jump into business at a younger age in life. Some people jump into business and they already have started their family, right? So they may have to take some of their net, and you know, take care of family things. Some people that are younger still living home with their parents, they don't really have um, bills, their little cell phone bill, whatnot. They get into the box short industry, they're able to reinvest more money because they have uh, less things on their personal side to pay for it. They may not have children yet, they're not married, they still live at home. So they can reinvest a bulk of that money back into the business and scale a lot faster. So everybody's situation is different. I understand that. But what I see with my people, and specifically, we don't understand that, you know, reinvesting back into the business, you know, at the beginning when the money is good, it will help you grow your business a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to go out and purchase all this stuff right away. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. When I see people riding with the Penske truck or the Enterprise truck, and I'm not trying to make fun of nobody, I'm telling you what it is. I'm being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And you tell me you got your box truck business, but you got you a 392. Vroom, vroom, vroom. To me, it don't make no sense. Because you know what? The money that you spending on a 392, or the money that you spending on a G-Wagon, or the money that you spending on, what else is hot out here right now that everybody going to get? The Hellcat, the Benz, what else is hot? What else is hot? What else is hot? What else is hot? Let's say the Escalade. Let's say the Escalade, the V thing. Let's say you catch one for 150, you ain't paying 100 over sticker for the joint, right? So you go out and buy you a 2023 Escalade V with the big engine in it, all right? That $1,800 you spending, you know what I'm saying? You could be financing you a box truck for that. You could be financing you a box truck. New Tahoes, it's the walk said, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The whole point I'm trying to make is, man, in the beginning, reinvest. I didn't go buy nothing new for what, 3-4 years. The first car I bought was 2.5 years after I had been in business, and I bought a Camaro. I bought a used Camaro. In 2012, I bought a 2010 Camaro. That thing was $25,000. It wasn't even the SS, it was the RS. It had leather, it didn't have a roof, right? It didn't have the V8 engine. I bought the RS, right? That thing was $25,000. All right. I could have bought that thing cash. My note was number $400 and some a month. Right. A year later, I went and jumped into that big 750. You see what I'm saying? So it took 3 to 4 years before I even did it. But then when I went and did it, like, I had 2 companies at this point, the moving company and the trucking company, and a bunch of bread. And actually now going back on it, the salesman made me look like a fool because I still had that urban hood mentality at that time. I went in there with $10,000 cash, and he told me, "What are you putting cash down for?" I'm like, "Well, that's what I'm supposed to do." No, you're not. Matter of fact, most people lease. 85% of people lease cars in here. People don't buy cars. This is not this Camaro you trading in, Marcus. You're in BMW now. He was telling me how the upper people thing. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the upper people. This is how they play the game. See, we caught in this rap stuff talking about I don't lease. But half of these cats is leasing cars. Why? Because buying a car like an 80, 90, anything over $100,000, that's a stupid purchase. You might as well lease that thing in 3 years, get up out of it. Right? So I'm putting the money down. He's telling me to keep my money. My credit is good. Just do the zero money down and pay the higher note. Let your money work for you. But me being young and stupid and still stuck in that urban mentality, listening to the rappers, I go in there with 10,000 thinking I'm doing something. because that 10,000 could have been working. I still could have got the car, right? But I still would have had an extra 10,000 that would have been working for me. So you want to reinvest into your business. Luckily for me, I reinvested back into my business heavily, heavily, heavily. That's how I was able to scale. All right. So reinvest into your business. All right. Reinvest back into your business. Don't make the mistake, because there's a lot of people out here right now that were making money last year that's not making money now, but still got the cost from how they enter, and now they got this personal debt because they went and jumped out the window because they had to go get the drip and the whip. So specialize, find something to specialize in. Now this may not be for every single John or box trucking or cargo van, but like, let's say for moving, right? You got a box truck, because there's a lot of people that ask me to make content on moving, and I probably should make more moving content. Here's an example of specializing in something, right? I've always specialized in small moves. I see that there's a market for small moves, and I've always specialized. Even though we do all size moves, one, I prefer my crews to do small moves because I can turn them over quicker. All right. Yeah, you're gonna make a lot more money, right, with a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom, why? Because it takes longer, but you can still make that money, right? Doing 3 1-bedrooms or 2 1-bedrooms in the studio. I could have a truck do 2 or 3 or maybe 4 sometimes small moves and still make that same money, and I'm putting less wear and tear on my guys physically. Those 3, 4, 5-bedroom home moves, they pay a lot, but they're more grueling. You're there 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, right? Customers paying somewhere between 2 to 300 plus the truck fee, you know what I'm saying? Plus the material cost, right? You're making 3, 4, 5,000, whatever it is, depending on what you're charging, how long it takes that day, how much material, things of that nature on that move, right? But it gets kind of grueling, for the crew to be there. You're not going to make that much money depending on how big the move is. But if I can have, let's say, a 16-footer go, or 3 16-footers, 3-man 16-footers go out and do 3 moves a piece, I'm guaranteed to net $1,000 per truck. And my guys will be fresh. They won't be so beat up for the next day, right? So that's something that I've found in the moving business that I was able to specialize in, focusing on smaller moves, because guess what? All moving companies charge the same for whatever. They don't care if it's a dorm up to a 5-bedroom. You're going to pay for the labor. You're going to pay for the time. You're going to pay for the materials. You're going to pay for the truck. I saw a way where I can reduce the cost for smaller moves and be the only one in the city doing it, right? And I was going to get all of those moves by volume. Man, we getting so many moves. Before your dollies and all these apps came in and kind of messed things up. Like, parents would put our company information in, like, the parents, like certain schools, University of Chicago, UIC, University of Illinois Chicago, Northwestern, things of that nature. These parents had forums and things where they would recommend companies that they trusted and things of that nature. And we were in all the forums. We got all those moves because we specialized in small moves. People would turn away. No one wants to spend $200 or $300 an hour to move their child out of a dorm. All right. So if I could charge them $110 an hour, right, or 125, you see what I'm saying? Still make money, but it's less, but I'm making it in volume. So I found a way to specialize in doing smaller jobs to make more money, right, and capitalize. So and I was the only one doing it at that time. All right. And then the apps came in and kind of messed it up. But anyway, you can find something that you can specialize in with whatever business you're doing. If you got a specialty, that means you specialize in it, and you're going to get more traffic to your business. Always look for ways to increase your margins. All right. And the one way a lot of people can increase their margins now is by getting rid of the rental trucks. Getting rid of them rental trucks. All right. I don't know where to tell you to go. You can buy a truck, but every day, 2 or 3 people easy. Man, I need a plug with a rental truck. I don't have no rental truck plugs. I'm not a rental truck plug guy. The only thing I can tell you is try to get a quote from everybody. And if you can't get a quote, try Fluid or try Coupe. But like I said earlier, the rates are the rates. All right. I don't see them going back the other way anytime soon. But you got to find a way to increase your margins. And you should be looking for ways to increase your margins every day. If you are a final mile box truck guy and it's you and your helper on the truck, and you see that this gas station here is 30 cents less than the gas station that's on the way to your yard, then when you fill up, you might want to stop at this gas station, especially if you're filling up. That 30 cents, all right, is going to add up. All right, and finding other ways to increase your margins. You know what I'm saying? Box truck guys, middle mile guys, you got to find a way to decrease your margins. Some of you guys might need to actually try to really, really look. If this is what you really, really want to do, you're going to have to find a way to buy a truck. You're gonna have to find a way, like, to buy a truck. Another thing is like when I said earlier, like, crawl before you walk. Some people, you don't necessarily have to enter into the game in a box truck. You can enter into the industry in a van and then scale your way up. So if you don't have box truck money, right? And I know this is kind of off this, but I meant to talk about this earlier, so let me jump back real quick. If you don't have box truck money and you got cargo van money, enter in with a cargo van and then scale your way up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a lot more volume, all right, in final mile parcel than it is in final mile big bulky. There's a lot more because the pieces are smaller. People are ordering cell phone cases, cell phone chargers, portable chargers. I'm looking around, just, I don't know, whatever, markers, staplers, ink pens, whatever. You're gonna see a lot more of those books. It's gonna be a lot more volume of smaller final mile parcel delivery where you still can make good money, and then from there you can scale up to a box truck. All right, so you got to find ways to increase your margins. I can't tell you, everybody's situation is different, but you need to be looking at increasing your margins every single day. Look at where you can cut. You know what you're paying too much for. A lot of y'all know y'all getting ripped off with some of these rentals, but yet and still y'all still want to pay. Somebody hit me up today that's renting a fleet of trucks, 5 to 6 trucks, $1,500 a week for each truck, 30 cents a mile. You know what he hit me up for? Help with rentals. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. The only ones, the moving trucks are fine. Like if you're spending $1,000 a week and you have a moving company and you're doing 2 to 3 bedroom moves and up, one move is going to cover that $1,000 rental, and you still gonna have money left over. All right, if you're doing a 3-4 bedroom, you making 3-4,000. So if your rental's $1,000 a week, you making that. Like if you don't have a moving company, then you shouldn't be paying that much. You know what I'm saying? You should not be paying that much. So you have to figure out a way to decrease to increase your margin by decreasing your overhead expenses. Like I said, everybody's situation is different. You got to figure out where you need to decrease. Future roadmap for next year. A lot of you guys need to start coming up with a roadmap. All right. A lot of people don't look into the future. You know what I'm saying? You got to look into the future. You need to be creating a roadmap for 2023 right now, where you want to be at, and start working towards it. Forget about the economy and things of that nature. I understand it's going to be a fight, but you still have to create it. Once you create it, you'll have something to look forward to and work towards. But if you don't have a roadmap, you don't have a plan. All right. So if you needed a roadmap at any time before, you definitely need one now. All right. So you need to create a roadmap, and you need to set it up in quarters: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. All right. Quarters are broken up to 3 months. All right. January through March. Right. And then so on. Every 3 months is a quarter. All right. So you need to figure out, where do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish in Q1 of 2023? What do you want to accomplish by Q2 of 2023, Q3, and Q4? The economy is going to play a big part, but still create this roadmap so that way you have something to work towards to. Even if you don't accomplish them, you still try. There's nothing wrong with failure. All right. There's nothing wrong with failure. Nothing wrong with it at all. Don't let people, discourage you and talk you out of doing something because you may fail. All right. At least you tried it. You did it. You learned from your mistakes. you picked yourself back up and you started over again. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's business, but create yourself a roadmap. I have my roadmap. I know what I want to accomplish in 2023. I've had my roadmap for 2023 for the past couple months. I know by April what I want to do. I know by the summertime what I need to do, and I know where I want to be at as far as other business ideas by the end of 2023. And I'm already implementing and putting strategies together and building towards that right now. That's how you stay ahead of everything. All right. And when things happen, you already, you know what I'm saying, you way ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? So start building your roadmap for 2023. Real quick, I know I talked about it before. I'm doing this live. I'm gonna jump on Kirk's live next week. He wants to do a live about Amazon. So I don't know how it's gonna go. You know, I know Amazon is a touchy subject with people, but I got invited, so I'm gonna do it, and then I'll be back on here next week at 8. I know it's tough out here right now for a lot of people. Middle Mile, you guys hit me up all the time. I appreciate you for everyone that DMs me and hits me up and rocks with me. Those words mean a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping everyone takes this advice I'm giving and takes heed to it and kind of applies it one more time with these rental trucks. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. All right. The hope that you had, the hope that you may have been holding on to for peak season, right, to kind of like bring you back from under the water and kind of bring you back to life. Listen, it's December 4th or 5th now. If you're still struggling, then you got to figure something out. Set a date, end of the year, December 31st. December 31st. Set that date. Look, if I can't turn this around, maybe I should scale. You don't have to exit. That's another thing. People hitting me, man, Mark, I'm just going to voluntarily revoke my authority. You don't got to do that. You don't have to do that. You can just scale down. Listen, if you got a rental, the only thing you got to do is swap that thing out for a van or turn it in. You know what I'm saying? You can scale down and then scale back up. You don't have to exit. You can go down to a van. Ain't nothing wrong with a van. A lot of people start with a van. You know what I'm saying? Or like I was talking about Thursday, you may have to pivot. There's nothing wrong with pivoting. Now it's time like that easy work that's over with now. It's over with. As you can see, the easy work is over with. If you got to pivot out of middle mile into final mile, you got to pivot from here to there, wherever it is. Then now is the time to look at opportunities that are still plentiful, that are making money, and pivot. All right. An article came up yesterday. We still haven't seen the floor. We still haven't seen the floor. All right. For those that don't understand what the floor is, the bottom. All right. Spot market rates are continuing to go down. They're going to continue to go down. All right. We have to see a bottom. This is a correction. All right. Everything that's happening now is a correction. It's just like the stock market. All right. When Trump was infusing the stock market in 2020 and we all was making all that money in the stock market, that wasn't going to last forever. It was companies out here that were evaluated at so much money that didn't even have a product yet. The stock was valuated so high off an idea. All right. So those rates last year had to go through a correction. Everything that's going through now is a correction. It's going to correct itself. A lot of bad things, people, whatever, is going to get shaken out. It's going to correct itself. It's going through that phase now. We have not seen the bottom. All right. So if you are in a situation now, the bottom is coming. They're saying the bottom is probably going to come January or February. I'm calling middle January, some prior time around Martin Luther King birthday. I'm calling around Martin Luther King birthday. So sometime in the middle of January, I think we probably going to get closer, if not get to that bottom. All right. So reverse logistics, talk about reverse logistics. Retailers are expecting a lot of returns. They're expecting returns to the point where a lot of retailers this year are saying they're going to charge you if you return, because they haven't been making money all year. They made a little money Black Friday, a little money Cyber Monday, and they said, I'll be damned if you bring some of this stuff back and we don't make some money off you. So like JC Penney's, I think, and a few other retailers said, man, they're gonna charge a fee to return. Consumers are trying to fight back, but the point of me telling y'all this is not for that. It's for the aspect of reverse logistics. So there may be some opportunity to make some money, maybe the first part of January with reverse logistics. But after that, it's going to really get kind of quiet and kind of dry around this thing. You dig what I'm saying? So that's it on my end as far as this is concerned. I'm going to take some get out of here after I take these questions. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Drop them questions and I'm going to answer them. Them questions and I'm going to answer them. Drip in the whip. 100 profound, bro. Yeah. Practice self-control. It gets greater later. Yeah, a lot of people need to practice self-control. You know what? Temptation is something else, especially when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got to practice self-control. If you come into business with the right mind state, then you understand that reinvesting money back into the business, everything that you want and everything you desire, you'll get it at a later date. You know what I'm saying? So those first few years, you should spend all that money reinvesting back into the business. Leasing homes too. Yeah, a lot of people was leasing homes, Airbnbs, a lot of trips. I don't knock nobody for doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? But when you're running a business and you're starting a business, the first few years are very critical. You need to stack and put up and reinvest as much money as you possibly can. You need to operate the first few years like you don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? You need to be very frugal those first few years. You need to operate them first few years like you making money, but you acting like you struggling. You want to be cheap. You want to put as much money to the side because there is that learning curve there, and you want to reinvest as much money as possible, especially if you're trying to grow. If you're trying to grow, the only way you're going to grow is if you reinvest money back into the business. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. I'm seeing that a lot of people don't understand that by talking to them. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Hey, Mark, I'm just chiming in. How are you? This Andre from the low end. Low end or no end? What's going on, Andre? Low end or no end? Some of y'all know what we talking about. I ain't from the low end, though, but low end or no end. Can 10K get you into the game? Right now, I don't know, man. 10K doesn't go far now as it used to. Man, there's some rental companies out here that want $10,000 for a deposit. So, that's a hard question to answer, bro. I'm gonna say no, because if you're running final mile and you got to rent a truck, you might have to put 5,000 down. The rental truck company might want you to put 10,000 down. Even if you got to put 3,000-4,000 down, that's half your money right there, and you still got to operate. You got to pay people. You got to get other things. 10K don't take you far nowadays, bro. We need to have the right mentality. Feels as good or better reinvesting as we would buying those baller items. We need to have the right mentality. Feel as good or better reinvesting as we would. But right, so my whole thing when I was coming up in box trucking in the 2010s, the early to mid 2010s, my biggest flex was my fleet. My biggest flex was my fleet. Now, granted, trucks were a lot cheaper then. All right, I understand that. A whole lot cheaper. Like I said, my first truck was $7,900. My second truck was $89. My third truck, he gave it to me for $85. I remember the prices. All right. Every time I went and bought a truck, from this dealer, to me it felt like I was driving off in a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as my trucks, the fleet grew, when I would come to the yard, sign my name, employees, like things of that nature, like that was my flex. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't move my business out there. My business has always been in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's Mark's spot up there. So that was my flex. I just wish people had that same type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? That same type of mentality. I think if people bury themselves in work, they wouldn't want to go out and spend all the unnecessary money too. But then a lot of man, I could really take that topic somewhere else, but I think it'll make people mad and things of that nature. So I choose not to do it. I think, like you said, people have the wrong mentality when it comes into business. But if you grind out those first few years, everything your heart desire, if you really put the work in those first few years and you really grind it out, everything you want, you'll get it later on. All the trips you want, the cars, the girls, the money. I done been all over the world. I've been all over the world. You know what I'm saying? I've seen everything. I've did everything. I've driven some of the nice car. I ate the best restaurants. I did it all. But guess what? It took time. Um, I put in a lot of work. I sacrificed a lot. All right. People don't understand sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? I sacrificed a lot. Relationships, all type of stuff, because I wanted to get to the money and I wanted certain things in life. And I knew in order for me to get to them, I had to focus on what was important to me. And my business has always been more important than anything else. So a lot of relationships, a lot of things I sacrifice, and because I've always put the business before anything else. Um, and I think, in order to see certain levels of success, then, sometimes you got to put the business, well, you have to put the business first. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Make a man is needed. When I do stuff, I don't do things to make people mad. I just tell the truth. People, everybody has their own opinion. I'm an American, so I have my right to my freedom of speech. So, um, you know, when I speak on things, I speak on them because I had that right. So if I get invited somewhere to speak on a topic, I'm going to speak on it if I decide to take the invitation. So it is what it is. I don't, I've learned some things from this, YouTube thing that it is what it is. Once you put yourself out there, people are gonna either respect your opinion or not respect your opinion. And I'm okay with that. It is what it is. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do that next week, and make sure you check it out. I know it's a lot of companies are hiring CDL drivers, but if freight is down and large companies are laying off while the hiring surge. So large trucking companies are always hiring because people are always quitting. The turnover rate in trucking is very high. And it's not a lot of the time when truckers quit, they're just going to another companies because the competition in trucking is very high. You see this company doing $7,500. You have some people that jump from company just to get the sign-on bonus. This company's doing 75 over the course of 6 to 12 months or whatever it is, and then this company is doing 10. So this guy work here for the 7,500, and then a year he'll go over here to make the 10. So people running that game. It's just all type of things, but the turnover in CDL trucking is very high. Drivers going to jump from seat to seat. So this is like what I was saying in one of the live streams last week. With the box trucking, it's even more difficult because um, when we talked about competitive edge in the this presentation I did earlier tonight, those large trucking companies have more of a competitive edge than a smaller box truck owner operator who maybe has a truck or two and puts drivers in it. Why? Their competitive edge is what? They have deep pockets. They have way deeper pockets than you have or than I have. So they're able to provide better benefits and better incentives for drivers to come sign up with them that you or I wouldn't be able to offer. We can only offer as being an independent owner operator. It's only so much we can offer. I can't give a person, if middle mile was my lane and I had, let's say, 2 or 3 trucks, I wouldn't be able to give someone a $10,000 sign on bonus. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to do it where these companies can do it because they got all the contracts. They're making top dollar. You know what I'm saying? So freight is down, but there's other lanes that are still, you know, making money. Freight is down. A lot of my homies drive semi trucking here in Chicago, and freight is, it's not, it's okay, but it's not what it normally is, but it's still work, but some markets are a little bit different. Here, we're the railroad capital. All the railroads come through. We're the crossroads. So, my market is going to be a little bit busier, even though it's not as busy as I know it should or could be, but it's going to be busier than another market, let's say, that's in the southeast, or let's say Arizona, which is considerably slow, or let's say Montana. Um, um, so yeah, truck companies have high turnover, so they're always hiring. Drop the link. All right, let me drop it. Let me see. We need to have the right mentality. Can you get 10K? I answered that one. Facts lead them behind. Just started in Michigan, but struggling with the decision to buy or rent the first truck. And absolutely, Mark, the industry is full of inexperienced drivers, 20 plus year experience here. Yeah, so a lot of inexperienced drivers in all lanes right now. I think, a big part of the inexperience as far as like people coaching people in the early part of this year, last year, and I'm not talking to anybody specific. I'm speaking on the masses that were running to YouTube last year and the earlier part of this year. A lot of those people that they were listening to didn't lack the experience. A lot of those guys were professional YouTubers. They had just gotten to the trucking industry themselves, and they were selling you these courses and this this hopium, uh, and they were able to do it because they already had a large subscriber following. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't give you real, true life experience from either the past of doing it or the present, and knowing what they're talking about and giving you these experiences. You know what I'm saying? They're not forecasting. They're not telling you, yo, that you're not going to see this type of peak season. Yo, January is going to be rough. All the stuff that I talk about, I can talk this stuff from experience. I can get on here confidently and talk about this stuff because of my years of tenure being in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Once you've been in the industry for so long, like, the industry is the industry. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about it. But like I was telling the other day, well, on the other live last week, is a lot of these guys that I have selling y'all these courses and things of that nature, they don't never go live. And the reason why they don't go live is because they're going to expose themselves. They're going to expose the fact that they don't have the knowledge base, So, Kirk, what up?
What's up, man?
Chilling.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I got a next podcast I had to jump in, you know what I mean? Share my
Hmm.
opinion over there.
Yeah.
But you know it is, man. What's up, man? I see you dropping gems on the box truck and the cargo van.
Man,
I
trying,
told
man.
I told people, man, like the number one thing you can do now is get in the box truck business by coming in with a cargo van. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because people don't understand how much money you can make in a cargo van. Really, especially if you get the what's that, the 4250,
Hmm.
the dually,
Hmm.
the 350 dually, the one with
350.
a
Yeah.
high, yeah, you can really make some serious money with that.
Yeah. You
And
can.
that's running around local. So
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I started with that, man. That you're making $700-800 a week at your regular job. You can get one of those trucks and really make some, about $4,500 a week But I used to kill it. I used to go out of state, like day and night. I used to get up at 5 with a route and then
You did
go to meet.
expedited?
Yeah, I used to do local and expedite, but it
Okay.
was not too far. I used to be in Jersey, so I used to take stuff to Connecticut and back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
For select, right?
see, exactly, for Select Express.
Mm-hmm.
So like we'll pick up like 4 stop, and we'll just I used to go to Albany, New York, Boston,
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire, but I'd be back the same day. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So cargo van is not a bad way, man. I think a lot of people can do that. You know what I mean?
I think right now with the cost of entry in box trucking, a lot of people still have these hopes and dreams, but like the guy in the chat said, 10 grand. Like I don't think 10 grand is enough to get in the box truck industry anymore. I think
No, it's
cargo
not.
van, yeah, 10 grand.
No.
Especially if you're starting with a rental, like now with the down payments and stuff. Like you got some rental truck companies that want 10 grand for down
Well,
payment.
well, the
So
subprime lend bank, they want 25% down based on your credit.
right.
So if your 25% is gonna be, like for instance, let me give an example. If you're buying a $65,000 truck
Mm-hmm.
and you get approved from, whatever subprime lend bank is giving it a loan, right? At whatever interest rate, and they're like, we need 20% down,
Mm-hmm.
and that 20% is $17,000. You only got 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
That's just to get the truck. Now we're gonna talk about you getting the authority going active. We're talking about $300. Then the insurance company gonna need another 35 to 4 grand
Mm-hmm.
based on all of that stuff. Then it depends on the year of the truck. You know what I mean? You need a UCR. So you need all these filing that's gonna be give and take another 12 to $15,000.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So you had 62 with a truck, you already
Mm-hmm.
put 17 down. You get what I'm saying? Now you need an extra 15. So we're talking about almost 30 grand to get in this business.
Yeah, 10 grand ain't enough.
And then you turn around and you pay some guy to give you some course. It's crazy.
That's what they want to pay. But from what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, a lot of people are coming up with 10 and 20 grand to pay some of these guys. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I never speak on it, but I get a lot of those invoices from people who come to me because when they told me that stories, I'm like, you have to be out of your mind.
well, you know why I think it's becoming a big deal now is
Mm-hmm.
because the masses are not, the sentiment is down. Like the box
Exactly.
truck sentiment,
Right.
it's when I
It,
tell you the morale
yeah.
is down, it's
Mm-hmm.
down. So when people aren't doing good, now it's time to start placing the blame on someone. And if you
Mm-hmm.
charge this person 10, 15, $20,000, they're gonna start with you first because for that type of money, they should feel like, that should have been instant and long forever success. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And that's why I think the whole every with this whole scamming and these
Mm-hmm.
first prices, that's why everybody's talking about it now because like the morale in this box truck industry right now is it's just bad.
Yeah, it is. And I think the thing is when people give $10,000, I think the service that they get for that 10 grand, it starts to become a question because you're talking about paying somebody $10,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I pay you 10 grand,
Mm-hmm.
even though I have your cell phone number, that's just a cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But most of these people don't even have a program that is set up. They don't have a schedule. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have, you get what I'm saying? Like if I
Mm-hmm.
pay 10 grand to my
Mm-hmm.
attorney,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Let's say I pay to do my immigration case. You get what I'm saying? I want to file for my green card. There's a process. So I pay 10 grand, then I got to bring them all these paperwork. Then I got to do this. And it's stages. What I get to find out talking to these people, there's no stages. You
Mm-hmm.
just give the 10 grand and everything is a phone call or a Zoom call. And then you go into this group with this batch of people. And one guy told me, like he said, I go in the chat because it is, it's a big classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, but what if I don't want them to know that I'm struggling?
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So there's certain things that somebody will share with you on a one-on-one consultation that they're not gonna disperse that in front of 15, 20 people that they don't know.
So these people are charging people 10 grand and then not doing
And there's,
their
yeah,
mentorship on a one-on-one basis. They're putting them in like a Zoom web
yeah,
chat type
in the
thing.
webinar, yeah, that's how it works. That's what I'm saying. It's the craziness behind it, because people come to us all the time, and somebody will come to me and they'll be like, man, I got 10 grand, right? Do you really think I can? And I'm like, okay, well, how's your credit? And they'll be like, man, my credit is messed up. I got this, I got that, I filed for bankruptcy, whatever the case is. People don't want to disperse that in front of 15, 20 strangers.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And so you're paying $10,000. You're in a chat with people who are in there that you don't even. Nobody want to do that. Like, but that's the type of stuff people paying for, and they're paying for it. It's crazy to me, but they're getting it.
I feel like I don't do those mentorship things, and the reason why I don't do it because I felt like if I charge someone that type of money, my moral compass would kick in. Like those people will have access to me damn near 24 hours a day. If they get a flat tire 2 o'clock in the morning, I guess I'm the one who they should call because they gave me 10, 20 grand, right? I don't really have the time because when you're spending that type of money, like I said, I feel like those people should have access to you whenever. And I just don't want to give people that type of access. You know what I'm saying? But you're telling me, I'm thinking the people that were charging this were giving people this type of access, and you're telling me they're not.
Listen, man.
They're basically charging people 10 grand and doing what we would probably do in a coaching session.
I got a dude who came to me. Dude, fly out. They buy their own ticket. Him and his wife fly out to meet this individual. They have to pay for their own hotel, transportation, the whole shebang.
Huh? Guy in Atlanta?
No, not Atlanta. Okay. A different dude.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Dude went and paid $8,000 for this course. He get put in a box truck with a driver. Him and his wife get put in a box truck with a driver. They stayed at a truck stop for like almost half the day. There was no program set up. There's no load. Nothing was preset. When they finally get a load, the load was taking them so far that they have to. The dude's like, by the time we get there, we're gonna have to then find a hotel to spend at another facility with me and my wife, because you get what I'm saying? And I'm like, why people are doing these type of stuff? Is it that bad to get into the box truck business? You get what I'm saying?
I think people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's crazy the way people spend their money and try to get into this game, and it's just a big question to me. Why does it happen?
I think people are buying into the personalities of some of these influencers. They're not buying into the actual. Well, for one, from my research on some of them, they're not providing any value. So the consumer really doesn't have anything to go off on anyway. They're just taking a risk and hoping that this 8,000 or 10,000 that they're spending, they're going to get some type of value on the back end, because these guys aren't providing you no free value up front to even wheel you in. And then another thing I noticed, they don't, like what we're doing on YouTube, they don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? They don't come over here. They're not going to come over here. They're not going to go on live, because what happens is when you come on YouTube and you start doing lives, which I think the consumers need to start putting this out there. And the reason why they don't do this is because they're putting themselves on Front Street to get challenged. Because what's going to happen is someone's going to come into that live and call them out on their BS in the chat. And if they can't answer questions, or they're going to get challenged, and they don't have the answers. That's why they don't go live. You know what I'm saying? They're selling you hopium from a 1-minute reel, right? And a bunch of pictures and a bunch of captions, and people are buying into it. When you got guys like you guys like me that are doing 2 and 3 hour lives, giving people scenarios and just information based off experience and things of that nature. And these guys over here getting rich. This dude got one guy. He just went and bought. He's buying cars left and right. This guy, he been buying cars for the past couple months. So but then the people they buy the course and then they come to you or they come to me and then you got to hear a sad story, but there's nothing we can do at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said tonight about the lady that take out the $30,000 in her son tuition money. You get what I'm saying? But go back to what you're saying about coming on YouTube. They used to be on YouTube.
What happened?
They used to be on YouTube, but see what happened is the same thing that you said. That started to happen. Why they leave YouTube? They used to be on YouTube, but what they do, they would disable their comment section. They'll disable the chat. They'll do all of that because there's people that used to go in there and ask questions, like you said. Like, see how you drop people be asking the question in the chat.
Right.
They'll disable the chat, and then people will come up, and then they'll say, "Well, that's just an hater, or that guy this, or that guy that, or we're gonna get one of those. You have to get one of those because you go and find somebody to hate on you." But like I said, man, I have receipt, text message, email. You get what I'm saying? Of people that pay these people money, thousands of dollars. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And lose all that money because they were sell a lie. You get what I'm saying? And so some of the stuff, man, it's not even rocket science. Like some of these stuff, like we gotta blame the people. Like it's people you gotta do your research. You gotta do your research, even if it's me or Mark. Don't take what we're saying here. Still research who is Mark, who is Kirk, who are these two guys. You get what I'm saying? Not just, this fanciness that we see on the internet.
But see, we put out content, we do live. So once you build up your catalog of content, person can go through it and kind of really get a grasp on who you are and know if you're talking about it or not. But a lot of these guys, they don't have any content of substance or value. Their content is their shoes or their cars or let me tell you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. That's their content. Let me show you. Instead of showing the consumer something, putting out content, educating the consumer, and then maybe trying to upsell them later. But they don't have any content where they're actually providing some type of substance, some type of value. Everything is let me show you. Like they're not going to give you nothing unless you buy it.
Right.
And then what happens is they buy it and there was nothing to give them.
Exactly, because they buy into this idea, like you were saying, that they're somehow going to be like the people that they're looking at. You get what I'm saying? The nice cars, the nice clothes, and the chain around the neck. Take a look at me and you. We're two guys in a Sunday night in a t-shirt. These guys sit down with gold chains around their neck or whatever it is, and all the bling and the blang and this and that, and people somehow attracted to that idea and think that, and I think most people forgot what the whole entire purpose of me watching the person in the beginning. What was the real person why you watch? What the real purpose of you watching them was what? Was to be like them or to be a business owner? You get what I'm saying? And I think sometimes people lost what was the original intended target that we came out here to become. You get what I'm saying? So the moment they speak to these people on the phone, they get sucked into trying to become who they are versus trying to become a successful business owner.
Yeah, they get caught up in the
illusion of it,
the marketing of the actual personality,
right?
Of the individual, of the influencer, and
Does that make sense? Because
Eh,
that's the only way I could see somebody get
and,
blindsided.
and this is why I can't, at first I was kind of, on the consumer side, but then I had to snatch myself back into reality and say, you know what, I can't knock the hustle because the consumer has to be responsible for their own actions. If you look at the marketing, okay, if they market themselves, like you got to be able to see through the BS.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to see through the BS. And then I have subs that be like, well, Mark, you're from a larger city. You see scams every day. Some people are just more green. They grew up in middle America and they're just not hip. And I get all that stuff, but you got to make yourself hip because guess what? If he'll get you, then the broker's going to get you. I had a guy who just got scammed by a broker last week.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So you gotta get hip. You gotta get sharp because people are sharks out here.
Right.
People are sharks.
Well. You said the guy gets scammed by a broker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why did he get scammed by the broker?
He really didn't get scammed. He really just got finessed. He got finessed to take
Is
it
it the guy
something.
that you said in Montana?
Yeah,
What did I say about that all the time?
I know. That's why I told him to go check in with you. Yeah, so I mean, it's a doggy dog world out here, and and people got to understand it. You gotta if you're looking at a person who is an influencer and they're
Mm-hmm.
selling you a product, but you don't have anything to go off of to know that if you invest, because at that amount of money, it becomes an investment. All right, and
Right.
you invest that type of money with nothing to go off on, then man, I'm not like listen. I'm not walking in the Mercedes to buy a G Wagon unless I enjoy that thing down the block. I want to hear how the engine roar. I want to
Mm-hmm.
touch it out. I want to see if the pedal light. I wanna drive it before I
Mm-hmm.
spend $200,000. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
gonna be
Right.
spending $2,200, $2,300 a month. You know what I'm saying? So if a person's selling me something for 10 grand, 10 grand,
Mm-hmm.
like there has to be some type of due diligence done. I need to see something. I need some references. I need like man, I'm going in that thing like I'm buying a house. You need to come on man, like I need to see something. And
Right.
and and most of these people that people are complaining about, some of the ones that I went and looked at, there's no substance, there's no material, there's no content of any sort except let me show you how I did. Let me show you how I did. Let me show you how you can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not for me. That wouldn't be good enough for me to wire someone. Well, I wouldn't wire someone. I would use my credit card, swipe my credit
Right.
card. You know what I'm saying? Because I might have to dispute that thing if
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
if I don't get what if I felt like man I got scammed. So it is what it is. But guess what though? I think all that's dying down.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's
It
dying
is.
down.
It is, and that's why I said I want to piggyback off what you just said about they're not showing you anything. There's no substance. There's no content. What did I always say on my channel? History is best qualified when it is what
Document.
documented.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So if you want to come in the boxtrop business, and this person that you choose to follow, what
Hmm.
are their history?
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Go look up the word experience and look at the definition of experience. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so if you want to come in this box truck space, run your business, do your business successful, you are going to look at a person's history and see what they're doing, how they're doing it, so that way you can, imitate that to get get your foot wet so you can come in through the door. But what a lot of people what we find out here is these guys have no history. They start a business a year ago, 6 months ago. Most of these people we're talking about, they're not even on YouTube 2 years as yet. You get what I'm saying? And so you find people who watch their channel start from day one. They started out, then 4 months later, they stopped doing YouTube video, and now they're into something different, but box truck related. You get what I'm saying? And I buy a semi. I
Mhm.
drop my semi video. I'm doing partial in a semi. I'm doing partial in my box truck. I got a history of being on the road. I was in York City a few weeks ago. You get what I'm saying? That's my history. You go on my channel, it's there. You get what I'm saying? Everybody know I'm a road beast. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But what people are buying into is the glamour. Like you said, they buy these cars, they buy these clothes, they buy all of that. And I think people get sucked into that idea and forgot that you have an $80,000 truck. I got 4 people who mislead get misled coming into this box truck business. They all purchase truck over 80 grand and have to return them
This year.
this year. That's a business credit that you know and I know. Your next truck, you're gonna need about 50%.
So they just couldn't get over the truck note killed them.
The truck now killed them and the insurance. So they had no choice. I had a lady that take care of the DOT.
Mhm.
Every time they want to put their DOT out of service or put it on standby, I would
Mhm.
send it to her. I
Mhm.
sent 5 guys. I had 5 guys do voluntary repossession because they buy the truck over 80 grand, couldn't maintain it, and had to return it because they were sold alive. By the time and this is a crazy part. By the time they come to us, we can't do nothing. It's like, where were you when I was, well, I never saw your channel, man. And man, I used to be watching this dude. And you get what I'm saying? And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I seen this. And another thing too, and I heard this a lot, and I don't know if you heard this a lot too, but when some of these people are so sucked into the idea what has been sold to them, I think they don't even look at nobody else's channel. To be honest with you, they don't know who's bought the mentor.
They look after because I haven't had any recently, but like throughout the summer,
Mm-hmm.
early fall, I would get maybe one every other week of I paid 10,000 and then I found your channel and I got more information from you for free than what I paid this person 10 grand for. 10 grand, they took me as far as they could, but they really didn't even take me nowhere. Like I didn't get a rental. They promised me a rental. They promised me this. They promised me that.
Right.
And I didn't get anything out of it. And it's unfortunate. I think it puts a stain on people that actually do have valuable information, that do provide uh, value. It puts a stain on the good guys. But I think honestly, with the sentiment the way it's been, if you look at the numbers, the live stream numbers,
Oh
the
yeah.
views, like that
Oh yeah.
that trend of box trucking, it's it's going down. And this is peak season.
Mm-hmm.
And I,
Mm-hmm.
I look at I look at the analytics. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? The analytics for everyone's channel are not where they were
5 months ago.
5 months ago, or even a month ago.
Even a month ago.
Even a
Yeah.
month ago, and because the morale is so low now that the hopes, because November was high, and
Mm-hmm.
then as November continued to go on, and then those numbers, the peak season, those numbers, that was a lot of people's. That was peak season was their saving grace. They were hoping and praying for it to pull them out of the trenches.
Right.
A lot of people were banking on it because they were already operating at a loss, and they were like, "Please, peak season. I hope this
Mm-hmm.
Mark dude is wrong. F that Mark dude. I hope he's wrong because I need a
Right.
peak
Right.
season like last year
Right.
to give me. I can pay Penske. I'm behind 3 payments on. I can catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it's not there, there's an uptick, like I said. But even with the uptick, the rates aren't there. Now just people just like to hell with it. To
Right.
hell with it now. So and that's
And
why.
yeah, it's crazy. And go back. This is before you come across my channel. I was the first one to call everybody out by name.
Mhm.
When I say by name, I call everybody. I did a live where I called everybody out by name. You get what
Mhm.
I'm saying? And so when I did that live, that was in the realm of where you were talking about. And I kid you not, shortly after that live was done, that's when I start to see a lot of these guys leave YouTube because there were too much exposure. This is why when your guest was on, one of the first thing he asked you was, did I call name? You get what I'm saying? Because I'm known for that. You get what I'm saying? And so when you're talking about them and exposing them, and not only exposing them and the stuff that they're doing, they get very nervous. You get what I'm saying? And it become a touchy subject for them because none of these guys, they never drop in my life to debunk what I'm saying. Like I'm talking to you right now, you probably have like 2 of them watching, but they'll never click the link to come and say I'm a liar or this or that, or you get what I'm saying?
Well, I think, when tenure comes into place, some people just are going to challenge people that have, more experience. You know what I'm saying? You got years of experience with what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, if there's a content creator that's been doing this a year or two, they're not going to jump into your live because you're going to end up challenging them, and then it's going to I guess affect their YouTube career or credibility or whatever the case may be. But I just and then that's another thing. I think a lot of people are confused as far as the viewers, and this is something I was just thinking about earlier today, because there's just so much information out there, and all the information isn't aligning. Right. You see what I'm saying? So like, you got people complaining, and I don't want to use this word, but I'm gonna use it. They may get me in trouble. Amazon, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people complaining about Amazon, and I'm not even speaking to him. You got people saying they're making a ton of money with Amazon, but I don't see anybody like, in at least as far as my subscribers that come on my channel, they're saying that they're struggling. I'm not an Amazon guy. I can't show you no load board. I don't do coaching on Amazon. I don't do videos as far as live streams on how to make money and the methods to use, because I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Now I talk about Amazon from a ethical, like I talk about if they do something I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Or I talk about the bots the other day, or how Amazon played that woman in New York when that contractor killed that 1-year-old, and Amazon ain't doing the right thing. They put it off on the contractor, and the contractor pointing the finger at Amazon. The contractor can't change this lady's life around. She got a 1-year-old that's dead, and the 3-year-old is paralyzed. Right. And Amazon, this dude's building a $500 million yacht. You can easily give her 10, 20, 30 million. It's not going to bring the 1-year-old back, but at least they'll change her life and give her a comfortable life.
Right.
But they're pointing the finger. I don't like stuff like that. But when I talk about that type of stuff, that I can't talk about Amazon because I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? That's what I talk about Amazon.
I think the problem with you talking about Amazon is, again, it goes back to you telling the truth again, but then how dare you talk about it if you're not doing it type of mentality. You get what I'm saying? So even though you said that peak season is not going to be the way it is, right? You were correct on that. And you said that when you said that, a lot of people was mad, right? Right?
Because I think I messed up a lot of people's money.
but who think that?
I'm thinking of it ain't who people thinking about. Like I seen it coming from a lot of different angles. That person was just the most vocal about it, but I seen little disses and things that I just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have ignored that one, but I seen disses throughout, because what happens is you'll do, and this is what I saw earlier on in my little YouTube stint. What happened is you'll do a video. See, I wasn't validated yet. See what I'm saying? But when people started to pay attention to my content, they'll take the content and take it to other people's challenge to get validation. What do you think about this? Because I'm watching just like other people watch. So I see stuff in the lives and the comment section. Well, what do you think about the box truck bubble? When I did the box truck bubble video. Or what do you think about this guy saying there's going to be no peak season? I never said that. I said, man, it ain't going to be what you want it to be. So people are taking my content, taking it to other people for validation. You see what I'm saying? And then that causes, you know, just little things. So,
but I don't know why they matter to you so much.
no.
When I said the same thing, a matter of fact, I'm gonna do the Amazon live next week, and I got access to Amazon load board. You get what I'm saying? Because you know my buddy worked for Amazon. You get what I'm saying? I already got the whole shebang with it. So, but I don't know why they matter to you so much. But I think mainly because you're right most of the time when you talk about it, but then it's like you're not in the field or you're not qualified to talk about it. I guess that's the only way I can look at it, you know?
The spot market is the spot market. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So I don't need to run Amazon to know that the spot market is not going to be what people are expecting it to be. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I don't, you know, like I say, I don't coach people on it from you know, as far as doing it and giving people methods on how they can maximize their profitability. And so I speak from an economic standpoint. If there's things I don't like morally or just whatever else, but for the most part, it is what it is. I mean, if I feel like I want to talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. But you know, I just think a lot of people were mad, and a few people were upset because if you speak about something and it jeopardizes, and I'm only assuming this. I may not be correct. You're jeopardizing maybe their revenue stream. Then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but you know, I the only thing I can do is give my opinion. Because guess what? I could have been wrong.
Well, you said early on you're American. You have you have your right to your opinion. So I mean, if you give your opinion on something, I don't see why people should be upset about that. I mean, if we come on this platform to share information, then it shouldn't be a race against who is right or who's wrong. Is that if the result come back to be what you said it's gonna be, then I don't think the result won't be that anyway, whether you said it or not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be like last year. The analytics show that the numbers and backstroke channels are down. That's just how it is, whether you want to say it or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't see why people upset about that taking place. You get what I'm saying? And I'm it's just like I talk about the rent a truck thing. I came out, I did live about it. I do the numbers. People send me their contract paying $2,500 a week in a rent a truck, and I talk about it. I get pushback. I get one guy come in the comments and said, I don't understand because I don't, all you need is endorsement, you need a tweet card, you need this and that, and you be doing good with the Amazon, with the rent truck. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. 2,500 a week, you're paying whatever amount this lady was paying. Then you're paying for all these other stuff. Then you buy gas. Then you're putting drivers in hotel. You coming home with $800-900 a week. That doesn't make any sense.
And that's just going back to that. That's where the problem is, because you have so much. You got these people saying one thing, and then you got the truth, you know, and then you got to hear, well, this lady over here told me, Mark, that I got to pay I'm supposed to pay my final mile driver $100 and the helper $80. And who told you that? Where you gonna find a person to do 12 refrigerators for $80 in a day? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then you tell them the truth, and then you got to tell them how they're about to fail because this person just sent them off.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So now this person is confused because they had spent money there, but obviously there was something there that made them get another session with someone else, you know, and then you tell them the truth, and now their just whole morale is just it just lowers the morale, and then that's what you got going on now. There's so many different influencers on Instagram, you got people on YouTube, and a lot of this stuff isn't aligned. You got people telling you're gonna make a lot of money with Amazon if you rent a truck, and then you got other people saying, you know, you're crazy as hell. The consumers are saying, yo, the rates are trash. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You got people in the chat now saying they're ready to charge, but you got other people saying that, if you rent a truck, you're gonna make $1 million.
Right. And again, it goes back to what people are willing to accept as the factual truth. You get what I'm saying? And people come out here and they wanna, some people wanna believe what they wanna believe. They just, it's just the way it is, man. Like, people will come and you'll give them a consultation, and they're gonna take it and they're gonna manifest the same thing that you tell them that's gonna happen. You get what I'm saying? You run a truck the right way, you average a truck $5,000 a week, you're gonna make 20,000 a month. You take out the expense, that's what you're gonna leave with. Some people will take that and say, I'm gonna try that. Some people are not. They're gonna say that this dude over here say I can make 20 a week. You say 20 a month, the dude here say 20 a week. You get what I'm saying? And that's just the pushback that you have. Um we did a live and a few months, I think it almost, what, when I first started on YouTube way back, me and Intramite
Okay.
talk about the renter stuff.
Yeah.
And just like you said, people share our content. Well, next thing you know, in the live, they were saying that don't listen to independent and backstruck owners who talk about go own backstruck. All you got to do is, the dude said, why would I want to put 10 grand down? Why would I want to put all my money down when I can just go put $2,000 and get a rent truck? Don't listen to these folks who are own their truck and all these other stuff. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay. So you're telling people to go rent a truck when we're telling people it's better to finance a truck, because again, it threatens the fact that you're gonna not make any money. You get what I'm saying? And it's just people just buy these things. It's crazy, but it happens. It happens. And this whole idea of you're not responsible for maintaining a rental truck. I told my client all the time, when you pay $1 per mile, 50 cents a mile, 80 cents a mile, that's your maintenance money. I don't care how you want to spin it.
Yeah, I did a video on that a few months ago, and I said in the video, like, if you're renting a truck, you're paying for the maintenance. Listen, the whole purpose of that business, the whole business model is built and designed for the truck to pay for itself in all facets. Right? The truck is paying for itself. The consumers are paying for the truck. They're paying for the truck. They're paying for the maintenance. They're paying for everything. The rental truck companies don't put $1 into those trucks. The
Right.
consumers buy those trucks. The consumers maintain them, and then after the truck is paid for and then made X amount of dollars, they turn around and sell it and make even more money. All right, so that's how they're a $1 billion company. You know what I'm saying? It's you're paying for the maintenance. So when I hear
Right.
people say that, I'm just like, yo, that's just a crock of BS, and people believe it. You know what I'm saying? People believe it, and it behooves me, it behooves me how, I listen to some of these guys, and man, I just hear this guy talk, and like he'll, like, to a person, I just don't understand. Like, this guy said, let me show you how I make more money in a rental truck than people that own their own truck. See, when you go out and you own your own truck, you gotta make $1,000 a day. See, me in a rental truck, I only gotta make 200. I'm listening to this guy like, what that shit don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
That truck's sitting. That's been sitting so long that I gotta jump them to get started.
Exactly. And
You see what I'm saying? So why do I gotta make anything? Truck's been paid for over 10 years. That don't make sense to me, Kirk. And people
I know
buy
what you're
into that.
talking.
And people buy into that.
Listen, I got my 3-box truck, right? When I started on YouTube, and then I sold one of the box truck, like you said. And if my truck payment is $2,400 with truck and insurance, all I gotta do is just run 2 weeks, and I'm good. But when you have a rent a truck, if you don't move that truck,
Mm-hmm.
You gotta either go, you gotta, first of all, you're gonna have to go in your bank to take the money out to pay for that truck every week.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if you only gotta make $200 a month, a day in a rental truck, then basically you're making that $200 a day to pay for that truck and not coming out with no profit.
That's what I'm saying. Though. Like when he said that, that just didn't make any sense to me.
But you gotta look at another thing you gotta look at too, and I think this is a big thing that a lot of people don't understand too. You got to look at their audience. That's another big issue. You got to look at the audience that they're attracting. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the audience that they're attracting, those are the type of people that they can tell those stuff. See, the people who come to me are older people. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
40s, early 50s.
Yeah, me too.
I talk to people that are in high position of their job and leave and come into,
Mm-hmm.
just watch my live the last time I talked to that the guy from IT, was working for $1 billion Fortune 5 company, was making decent money, and started his own, come out here in a rental truck and loses thousands of dollars. You get what I'm saying? And said,
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna do it over, and the little bit of money I have, I'm gonna do it over. I'm gonna do it the way you said to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So you gotta also look at the type of people who they're attracting.
A
How do
younger
you?
demographic, you saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I didn't
younger,
think of that.
the younger
Mm-hmm.
demographic who want that fast life, and that, this is why when they make these promos and these videos and these Instagram posts, it notice it's always targeted to the younger generation,
Mm-hmm.
the younger people who want to do things that think it's gonna make them be successful in two hours.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter, that's not how it is. Because let's use their method.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use their method. If you make $10,000 a week in one of those trucks, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just do the cost to make that $10,000. You only gonna walk away with $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So because you have to pay for the rental, the gas, all these are expensive. By the time you finish with all of that, you only make 2 grand. So I that own my truck make the same 10,000. I get to keep most of the profit because I'm not paying for no mileage. I'm not paying for none of the stuff that you're paying on a truck that you don't own. You get what I'm saying? And I think people, I'm not saying everybody is a younger um audience that they target, but I think some people that come to them,
Mm-hmm.
once they start to have that dialogue and that conversation with them, I think they're lost. They forgot what was the purpose.
The majority of their following is younger, but they get some older. I I've I have some older mentees that have um went that route and then come to me. So they do get some older people too. It's unfortunate though, but
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and you know, like you said, man. Now that everything is slowing down and everything is kind of, I think eventually it's gonna, this old box truck thing. I think it's gonna just go down in history as people just being, because right now everybody is like, you're pretty much exposing yourself. Like you said, you got to be careful what platform you're on, because people are not going to ask question, well, what is this? And if you can't answer those hard questions, I think if you put a panel of YouTubers together,
mm-hmm.
uh, it wouldn't even last the first hour, because there'll be so much to it's just not going to work. It's
But
just
like
not.
those type of guys, they don't do lives. They don't do lives. Those 10, $20,000 guys, they don't do lives. They're not going to do a Q&A. They're not going to put themselves in that position to expose themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to do it. They
Yeah,
would have done
because
it by now. They're not going to do it because it'll expose them. It's going to mess their money up. That's
Right.
why they stay over there.
Exactly.
That's why they stay over there, because Instagram is fantasy land. It's cap. You know what I'm saying? Over here on YouTube, this is a platform where there's only so much you can do in a 1 minute. What Instagram only gives you a minute for a reel.
Mm-hmm.
There's only
Mm-hmm.
so much you can do in a minute. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And even if you do an Instagram live, when they're over there, they're just promoting an event. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the platform where you can live stream, you can do presentations, you can do Q&A and things of that nature, and put out content where you're educating people. The
Mm-hmm.
content that they do put out over here is just promoting an event or telling the consumer how they did what they're telling you they did, and how they can show you how to do it if you click this link below and spend $20, $20,000. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I don't think those type of people are going to come over here. Now, the other people, there may be some other people who are actually doing the work. They're just
Mm-hmm.
not experienced to the point where. Uh, um, Here's something else. Since we're talking about it, there's some people that I feel that are just not experienced enough to the point. Well, let me say that I feel. Let me just be politically correct.
Mm-hmm.
And some people I think that are just not experienced as far as tenure, and people aren't feeling like they're getting their bang for the buck. These people may have good intentions, all right,
Mm-hmm.
but in order to really place a I always say value is what the consumer is willing to pay for something. So the consumers are setting the value, but the consumers are setting the value. And then what happens is the 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 content creator may not have enough experience to really uh uh make that value what the consumer is willing to pay, make it really fully worth it. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
A
what you mean.
year, 2 years in the game can only give you so much experience and only take you so far to educate someone at a certain price point. But if you're charging this type of price point and your
Mm-hmm.
experience only, you really should limit you to this type of price point. What happens is the consumer pays this price point and
Mm-hmm.
they feel like they got that price point worth of value. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Because again, like you said, they come in the game and they come in the business. And I think let's go to okay, let's look at the fact you said that they come with good intention.
mhm,
I said that all the time
mhm,
that content creator create a channel to talk about this box truck business
mhm,
with good intention.
mhm,
But I think when people start to see how much people are willing to pay you
mhm,
and how much you're willing to make off of the lacking and the inexperience of somebody,
mhm,
out here who are watching you, um, some of them, if it's like that shift.
mhm,
It's you see how I remember I said some people forgot the true purpose of why they want to come in the box truck business
mhm,
was the same thing with a content creator.
mhm,
They forgot the purpose, the true meaning and purpose of creating a channel.
mhm.
So they get blindsided by these money that can be made versus sticking to what they intended to come out here to be. You get
And
what
then,
I'm saying?
and then that's where the problem comes in now, when the morale and the sentiment is very low, because people are failing, people aren't making money, people are losing their businesses, and then they start going back, and then they start pointing the finger and placing the blame. Now, if you charging someone 5 and 6 and 8 and 10 and 20 or whatever it is $1,000, you're gonna be the first person that they go after and start bad mouthing
Mm-hmm.
online, and that's the phase that we're in now. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That's the phase that we're in now. And when you're selling a person and spreading the hopium, and you don't understand economics. See, if you're gonna sell somebody $10,000, $20,000 worth of course, then you need to understand logistics as a whole. You can't say, yo, you're
Right.
gonna make this much money with Amazon. We're gonna get you a box truck rental, we're gonna put you over the road, you're gonna get on the DAT load board, and you're gonna make this money consistently. And you don't understand logistics, you don't understand, like,
Mm-hmm.
for that type of money, you have to really understand this as a whole. And they don't.
Right.
They
That's what I'm
don't. They
saying.
should have been telling them for 10, 20,000. I told people you weren't going to see peak season for free. and I got ridiculed. I got people making
Mm-hmm.
calling me all, you know what I'm saying? Then when it came, and everybody's mad right now, you got some people still say peak season, man, ain't no where. Because it wouldn't be people complaining. Yes, it's here, it's an uptick, but you know who's seeing the uptick and who's really capitalizing on the little peak season that's here as far as monetary?
Mm-hmm.
It's the gig workers. The gig rates are through the roof.
Yeah.
It's not the Amazon DSP people because the Amazon DSP contractors are on the contract. And guess what? Their drivers are paid hourly. The middle mile missed their peak season. Why? Because the freight has been here all year because of the supply chain disruption and the overages and the overstock. So the retailers didn't order stuff. That peak season, that middle mile would see September, October, November, they missed it.
Right.
Final mile is seeing it from a smaller partial perspective. The gig workers. I'm looking at. I'm sure last week a Fanatics was paying $500, $600, $700 to do 2-3 hour routes just delivering T-shirts.
Right. And so the Geek app is paying more than Amazon.
The Roadie apps and the Geek, whatever apps, all these apps are paying more because that's where the volume is. That's where the demand is. And when I was telling people this, you know. But this is what $10,000 should get you. $20,000. I should be able to tell you how you gonna run your business. I'm gonna tell you now. Look, you're gonna make the money here, but then it's gonna slow down here, and it's gonna be like this for a while. But I'm telling you. So you want to spend this $10,000? I'm telling you now. It's gonna slow down here, so you need to prepare and put your money up, and don't go by the Mercedes Benz, and don't go by this, and don't go by that. That's what you should be getting for $10,000. But see, they don't understand that because, like Buddy said, he's only been doing it a year if he's really doing it. You see what I'm saying? But you got Buddy still telling people to rent a truck, right? And you're gonna make hella money, and you can tell like a lot of promo is on automatic because I seen one of the posts today or yesterday said peak season is coming. Right. So I don't even think they're just putting stuff up that's just on automatic or something. They're not even really paying attention to what they're posting, and people are just feeding into it.
Sad,
so man, you know, it's sad, but at the end of the day, the consumer has to hold themselves responsible. Right. Like ain't nobody, this is the real life, real world. Ain't nobody gonna be holding your hand because if that person don't get you, the broker gonna get you, or the next person gonna get you, or the rental truck company already getting you when you first walk through the door. At these rates, you know what I'm saying, man, I would never pay this much for no rental truck.
Yeah, the rental truck rates. Well, the rental truck rates have gone up, and then the mileage has gone down. You know what I mean? Because the dude, you know, one of the mentee that come to me, they told him to bring the truck back because he was racking up too much mileage a week.
Because they put the caps on the miles.
They put the cap on the mileage now.
Because one, the manufacturing, you know, issue, right? They're not producing a lot of trucks, and then the global chip shortage. So they have to preserve their trucks longer.
Right.
They can't let people just run them into the ground anymore because they got 1,000 on order every year. They don't know how many trucks they're getting from the manufacturer. Whatever they get, they get. So they have to preserve the trucks now, and they're not going to let people just run them into the ground anymore. So knowing that, and knowing if you want to go in for middle mile or go in for Amazon, you got a mileage cap. You know what I'm saying? You got a mileage cap. One, how are you going to maximize on your profitability if they're capping your miles? But yet still people go rent the truck, drive the truck all the way across country. So you just burnt up your miles now, and then they're calling you to tell you, man, you got to bring the truck back. I've had people do that. Mentee subs, you know what I'm saying? But people still go ahead and do it. Why? I don't know. Like what? I get it. This is an opportunity to make money, but here's the thing, man. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Why would you rent a truck if they're telling you they're capping the miles and you want to do OTR?
Right, exactly. Yep. I don't know. People do it, man.
So that's this. To me, I look at it. That's the same mindset of a person that would spend that type of money on a course, on that type of course. If you're gonna rent a truck, knowing you're finna do OTR, and they're telling you you're capped at 1,000 miles a week. and you still rent the truck.
Still rent the truck and still pay for the course.
And still, that's the same entire person that would rent that truck, knowing that they got cap. You see what I'm saying? It don't make sense. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if this don't make sense, then I can see why they would buy the course. Because mentally they ain't there anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They trust me. I've seen it all the time, man. I've seen it. I never can understand the dynamics of why it happened, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen over and over where people buy trucks, people rent trucks, and they pay these crazy amount of money to get in the box truck business. I think you had a live the other day. You were talking about something. I don't remember. I think it was the insurance or something, and I said, "Oh yeah," when you was talking about the insurance company, understanding the insurance and all of that, and I said, "People won't pay me and you for a consultation to do a consultation to get an idea to come in, but they'll lose thousands of dollars from these corporate companies." It's the same thing. You will. I'm telling you, they will. Some people will not pay you for a consultation to sit down and gather insurance information, whatever they need. They won't do it. But they'll bypass you, go straight ahead to the insurance company, overpaying insurance, overpaying this, overpaying that, and they'll still come back and say, "Man, Mark, I watch your channel all the time, man. I don't know, man. I should have contacted you, man." 3 months later, when they already lost $7,000, $120 could have saved you 20 grand.
I was surprised how many people, once I started making content, when I started talking about the brokers and stay away from Progressive and how everybody was in Progressive. I got the people that said, "Man, thanks, Mark. I got a broker. I'm saving." One guy said he's saving over $1,000 a month by watching my content and getting out of Progressive. But it seemed like everybody was with Progressive. And that just let me know
it's the easiest.
It's the easiest. That lets me further know that the reason why a lot of people are in the situation they're in is because they is lack due diligence from point A to point Z. There was no research done. They went and sat down. Commercial insurance. Progressive comes up number one. Why? It's the biggest, and they spend the most money on search engine optimization. So they're going to get you right there because they're spending millions of dollars with Google Ads to come up number one. They make it easy for you because you can put your stuff in and print your COI out yourself, your credit card, and they're going to print your COI.
And most guys who are getting insurance don't understand the importance of having a broker. You get what I'm saying?
I know.
So most of them, instead of getting a broker to do their insurance policy, because there's things that brokers can do that you can't do.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And an agent and a 1-800 number is not going to go beyond that to get the result and the best package for your insurance. You get what I'm saying? So I'm paying $2,400 for 2 box truck. That I'm paying $2,400 for 2 box truck. I got guys who are paying $2,800 for 1 box truck.
I know. I talk to them all the time. Yep.
And I got an agent, and when I said, "Well, who set it up?" "Yeah, my wife and I sit down one night." I'm like, "Oh my God." Once I hear me and my wife, I'm like, "Oh my God, here we go." You get what I'm saying? Went online, put in your info, and there you go. And we're talking about 3 months later, 4 months later, when you lose all that money. You get what I'm saying? So guys don't understand, like, you gotta get those stuff. It's important to have.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think this year was probably a big learning lesson for a lot of people. This was like a rude awakening. I think what's going on now is like a rude awakening. Some people are going to survive. Some people are going to survive, and the people that do survive, this is going to definitely change their mindset going forward. Unfortunately, a lot of people are fading out. But it's a learning lesson, So a lot of these people, hopefully, some people that have to exit are able to re-enter. at a later time, except when they re-enter the next go around, they're gonna re-enter um a different person than they were when they entered the first time. They're gonna be a lot more knowledgeable. They're gonna do their due diligence, and they'll probably do a lot better than they did this time around. Like this situation that's going on now, eh, you know, to like guys like me and you, it's just another day. But for
Mm-hmm.
people that really haven't even been in the industry a year yet to go through an economic downturn, what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
feel for them in that aspect, but I think the low would have been, they would have had some type of cushion, uh, and the survival rate would probably be a little bit better if they would have exercised some caution entering and did more due diligence entering instead of just jumping out the window. And a lot of people just jumped out the window, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
feeling it
Yeah,
now.
and I would say to anybody, man, like if you started a box shop business or you started on a journey, get your LLC, the whole shebang, even if because I got a lot of mentees, they started out, they were actually waiting on the economy to turn around
Mm-hmm.
before, because they ain't no way in hell they were gonna pay 80 grand for a truck. They're like, Kirk, look, man, I'm gonna get my LLC, I'm gonna get everything rolling,
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't paying no 80 grand for no truck. You know what I mean? So there's people that take those steps and in the meantime gather information from
Mm-hmm.
me, you, other people that are giving good valuable information,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just waiting the crisis out. For those people um that are on standby, you know what I mean? Those are the people that, yeah, you can look into entering the game, next year, you know what I mean? Now that you already see the result of the whole entire transition of the economy. You get what I'm saying? Prices of truck now drop. You can get a box truck now for, even I've seen trucks now are selling for like 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So knowing what you know in 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and now you waited out till now, I think you have a better advantage now than people who are came in and now have that high payment, because those $80,000 truck, you still owe 80. Yes, your truck is 50 or 40, but you still owe 80. You get what I'm saying? My best advice to people like that is join a credit union. Make sure that you get a credit union that you can get offered commercial finance and do a refinance. You get what I'm saying? Because not only that you're paying 80,000, but the interest rate on some of these trucks are ridiculous. We're talking about 14%, 17%. You get what I'm saying?
What would possess somebody to buy a $35,000 truck for 80 grand?
Again, the internet,
I,
Instagram.
I get it, and it's hard for me to, I came in 2010. When did you come in 20? What year did
To
you come in?
2011.
You came in 2011.
Mm-hmm. I came in March. I started March, nah, not March, August
Okay.
2011. That's when
So
I first set up the LLC. Mind you, when I came in, that wasn't with the box truck though,
you came in with the vans, right?
with the cargo vans.
Right. So my
Yeah.
thing is, coming in when we came in back then, sometimes I have to try to put myself in the mind state of someone that's looking to enter into this industry now, or someone who was looking into entering it last year to kind of, and it's hard to do that because
Mm-hmm.
we know what we know, what I'm saying? So, but still, like, what would possess, like, I know these trucks don't cost that much. They don't even, that's around what they cost new.
Right. Right.
So like, why would a person, like, some of the stuff these people did this year? I just, sometimes I think about it, like, sometimes I get DMs and stuff, and I appreciate people and trust me with, advising them. But man, some of these DMs that I get, man, like they be like really sad, and like I'll be in a good mood and then I'll just be depressed afterwards, man.
Yeah, oh, I know. I
You
get it.
know,
I
so
get I get I get email. I get email. And I think a lot of shame, people, a lot of people who started their box truck journey, and listen, I can't. What if I could save people, like get a bunch of people before they lose their 40 grand, 50 grand, or whatever? I wish I could, but unfortunately, I couldn't. You get what I'm saying?
mm,
But a lot of people have developed, there's a shame behind, there's embarrassment. You get what I'm saying? There's this hope that they had that they were going to make a certain amount of money. It's like it turned into anger. You get what I'm saying? And bitterness and resentment. There's a lot of people that blame their spouse. Well, you
really?
said that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a couple that blame each other. Well, I told you we gonna make 10 grand, and I told you you shouldn't do it, and we take her loss, and I told you don't spend the money in this thing. You get what I'm saying? So all of that stuff goes on behind the scene, while a lot of folks just keep on making money as if it's business as usual to them. But behind the scene, there's a lot of this devastation that goes on. You get what I'm saying? And it's people don't understand that. I'm telling you, me and Intro Mike, we did a live, man. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
we spoke to a guy, and Intro Mike, we warned the guy. Like I told Mike, I said, Mike, don't do it.
Uh-huh.
I said, don't do it, because if you, and these guys say, yeah, I'm not gonna call people name, and I'm like, Mike, this guy is too angry. This guy's not gonna keep his composure.
Wait, so did Mike call out people's names, or did you call out people's names
No,
in
no,
that
no.
live?
We were gonna bring a guy on his live that was gonna talk about his box truck experience,
Okay.
but he promised not to call the YouTuber name.
And he called it out.
No, we couldn't bring him on. I told Mike not to do it.
Oh.
I said this guy was too angry. He just came made up. It's crazy, man. I did a live where I call out their name and I put it on private because, again, I did some of my live and I just private my live, most of them, because what I mean. Not to say I'm scared of anyone, but some of my life, if you're there, you're there. If you're not there, too bad. You get what I'm saying? Because you in a space where you still want to give people the benefit of the doubt, so to speak. But if I speak on an issue, I'll speak on it. If I talk about you on my channel and somebody say, hey Mike, hey Mark, Jamaica was talking about you. Most of the time you won't see it. Or unless it's actually like literally just like I completed a live and then it's like there a day. But most of the time, once I post a live, once I'm done with the live, I private it. So, but people will come to us and they'll look for these information. And I think it's our responsibility to just keep giving people the information that they need. It's sad. People lose a lot of money. The stories are just bad, man. And I kind of glad that a lot of people wake up to what's going on. I hope there's a lot of people take a step back and just come into it the right way. Don't try to jump the line, and you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, $20,000, man. We're talking about my trailer deposit.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think if I charge someone 20 grand, if I did mentorships and I charge someone 20 grand for, let's say, a 90-day mentorship, I'm trying to figure out.
It couldn't be
outside of
90 day though.
You said what?
You couldn't charge them 10 grand for 90
No,
days.
I know, but I'm trying to figure out, like, outside of anything that I would give in a coaching session, and maybe a play-by-play, and actually hold their hand through the whole process from setting up their LLC up until whatever they're trying to do, whether they run middle mile or final mile, walking them through the process of going through onboarding. Like, what else? Like I'm trying to figure out what can you give someone in this space value at 20 grand. I don't see it.
Yeah, well,
I don't see it. And then giving you access to me 24 hours a day, which is what I don't want to do. That's why I don't do mentorships. I only do coaching. The most you can talk to me is an hour. That's all I got. Like I don't want, because what happens is people, and this is what I feel like they should be doing. Like, yo, if you're gonna charge someone 10, 20 grand, man, they should be able to call you if they get a flat tire at 2 in the morning. Hey, I got a flat tire. What should I do?
Yeah, but that's not what that's the way their program is set up. That's not how the way it's set up. The way it's set up is set up where they give the money, right? And they got a webinar scheduled. That's all they got. You get what I'm saying?
But I'm saying, so if they doing a webinar, why don't they just charge an entry fee to the webinar? If the webinar holds 15 people, charge everybody $150, do a 2-3 hour webinar and be done with that. Like, to charge someone 20 grand for 90 days and then you got 10 people sitting on this webinar. So that's 200 grand right there, right? All right. And you're talking to, like, if I'm paying 20 grand, yo, I'm like, man, I need some type of VIP private, like you said, like, I don't want these other people knowing my business. You know, what if I'm failing at something? What if I did something embarrassing that I need to talk to you about? Because I'm ignorant. I'm still ignorant in this industry. That was the whole purpose of me giving you 20 grand.
Exactly.
But I got to sit up here with a bunch of other ignorant people who don't want to learn. I want my 20 grand to be by myself. I want time by myself alone so I can drill your brain and not have to share my time, my 20 grand time, with 9 other people.
Yeah, well, that's what they get.
That's crazy. What they get. I didn't know that. You just told me something new. I didn't know that.
Well, let me ask you this. When you see like Grant Cardone and all these people promoting making money, what do you think they do when you pay them $5,000 course and then $10,000 course?
I know
Grant Cardone.
Yeah, I know he charges 40 grand, but I think those consultations are one-on-one. They say one-on-one.
No, but go to any mentorship that offer mentorship, right? Okay. And you go and look at any mentorship, you see you have a bunch of people in these webinars. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it's the backstroke, all the backstroke people do is imitate the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So you pay 20 grand to be in a room on the internet, like you said, with a bunch of people that are talking the same, listen to your conversation. And, what if I don't want to tell a dude how broke I am? Or what if people don't want to talk about their credit and, whatever the conversation is? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people do it. People do it.
I didn't, you just put me on to something. I thought.
Oh yeah.
I thought with the money that these people were paying, that was for one-on-one, and you have contact with the person and they pretty much hold your hand through the whole process over the course of, like, most of them were about 90 days or 45, 90, whatever it is. And like you got a one-on-one.
That's not how it work though.
It makes sense now that I'm thinking about it, because if they're doing multiple people like that,
exactly,
they have to.
Exactly. Exactly, because there's gonna take too much time for me to be one-on-one with 5 people on an individual base. If I'm trying to knock out 10 people for the week,
right?
I want to knock out those 10 people in one shot. Why would I knock you out in 2 weeks in a 2-week period? Or I'm gonna try to do at least 2 a day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So the way they set it up is, and then let's talk about the fact that people fly to them. What about when someone got to come to pick up a truck? Those people now got to spend their own expense. They're going to have to come and spend their own ticket, hotel for the truck, the whole shebang, and still turn around and pay you 4 grand, 5 grand, 6 grand, whatever they pay you. So they're still losing to come in the game either way. You get what I'm saying? And then you finally give them a rental truck, and then you run them the truck on a one pick, one drop. They're not even running partial.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then you are their dispatcher. So let me tell you how the scheme is so great, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You pay them $8,000 for mentorship. Then you have to fly go pick up a truck where they send you. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Then they turn around to be your dispatcher, and they're gonna charge you whatever percent they're charging, and then they're gonna run your truck on a one pick, one drop base. So if you pick up a load out of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
that's paying $4,000 to California, and that's what they give you. If it costs you $2,500 in gas, that's what you get. People do it, man. People do it. They do it. Don't ask me why, but there's some urge about mankind that they want to come in the business so bad that they'll pay for
I'm seeing, man. I'm seeing, and
it. And
they,
remind you, everybody gonna go out tomorrow in different areas because again, we talk in a group on a webinar. That's exactly how it works. What is
so
that? What is that thing they use? They don't use what me and you use. They use that
Zoom.
Zoom. Mm-hmm.
Mm. You know, we
So
can do webinars on this now. They just launched it this week.
and who?
You can do webinars now. They just launched it this week on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, I saw they change up a lot of stuff, but yeah, but that's what they do.
Yeah, but
That's
to
what they
me,
do.
I like. But now that you broke it, see, I didn't know how they did it, but
I got the information.
mm-hmm.
I got people who've been in it. That's all I know about it. I got the ebook. This old ebook, I got the ebook. People email me the ebook.
Who you want to say whose ebook it is?
No, no, I'm not gonna call anybody name, but I'm saying the ebook is the same nonsense that they all got the same nonsense.
See, so basically, what I found out, and I actually put this information out a few weeks ago. They go on Fiverr and
Yeah,
they buy them for $5 or $10, and then they just rebrand them and
exactly.
sell it for $800 or $1,000 or whatever. So they're
Right.
not writing these courses. They got people that are writing these courses from Pakistan or Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're buying them from them, and then they're just rebranding them and then selling them.
But the thing is that puzzle my mind is if we're in a black community to help each other to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because I
Mm-hmm.
always say that on the channel. I said if we're all here to help each other,
Mm-hmm.
why are we ripping off each other? If my intention is to help you to come in the box shop business, right? Why not give you the right tool and the right, all the right information that you're gonna need, and say, you know what, man, this is what I know. I'm talking to you about Amazon. I know this much,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, come in this game knowing what I know. I'm gonna show you how I use my truck and my experience to get in the game. You know what I'm saying? But like I think it goes back to what you said. People start with the good intention, but then when the money comes into play, it gets shifted.
I think people should start with the good intentions and the truth. But that goes back to like the inexperience too. A lot of people just
Mhm.
don't
It's
they wouldn't know
crazy.
the truth. They wouldn't know the truth if they hit them in the face because they just don't have the experience. You know, this situation that's going on right now is really hurting people.
Oh yeah.
And if you paid someone 10, 20 grand, they should have told you this was going to come. I just feel like if you're charging someone $20, you should know everything.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
But that's not the case, right? That's not the case. But people goes back to what I'm saying. People gotta.
But
Anyway,
another thing I gotta ask people too. When do you draw the line for the red flag? You get what I'm saying? Because for one, you pay crazy amount of money, right? You already see the red flag. Like I got people come to me and they're like, man, I paid this dude for a consultation. Dude said to do this. And I went ahead and paid the dude, right? I
Mhm.
paid for the mentorship. I paid for his course. Dude disappeared for 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? Then I finally reached the dude, and then dude said, okay, meet me over here. I flew over here, turns around, I had to go 100 miles a year because he told me to ride. It's like, when do you say no, man? I ain't going for this. Like the red flag after red flag after red flag.
They can only raise the red flag because they want their money up front.
You know what I mean?
They
It's
paying that
like
10 grand up front. And how they paying the 10 grand? They wiring the money? Like how are these guys accepting that money?
so some of them take the money in different payment sequences. So I know one of the guy that sell mentorship,
Uh-huh.
he breaks his up in I think it's 4 different payments.
Hmm.
They do it in different payments, and most of them use cash app them. So they don't have a credit card system like like I can go
It's
and
crazy.
you know what I mean?
That's crazy because you charging a person that much money, you should be a businessman that has some type of merchant uh um
Yeah,
uh
but
where you can take a credit card payment. I mean, it's 2022, but they don't want the dispute.
they don't want to dispute. And then and I know once you give somebody a cash app,
It's a wrap.
that's
That's
it.
it. That's
That's
it.
it. They get money by cash app. I know one guy, he went on Zelle money, but he was trying to get his money back. Because I think if you Zelle money, you can have a better chance getting the money back versus cash app.
Really?
Yeah. He said he's gonna try to get his money back
From a
from a YouTuber, yeah. I had a lady that paid. She came to me. She paid for mentorship, and she had to call her credit card company to get her money back. Same thing. The dude collect her money, and she couldn't get him. She said she'd get no email, no information what next to do. And this was for Amazon, by the way. This was an Amazon course payment. So she couldn't get him. She went ahead and filed a credit card claim and that's how she get her money back. The story is there, man. I tell you, if I drop the link on my channel and ask all those people to call, they'll come and tell you the story.
you should do a
Somebody told me I should do a live where I ask if you ever get scammed in the box shop business, come and tell your story. But I said no, because I don't feel I should be taking on those responsibility.
Mhm.
I think that if you pay someone $8,000, you need to go on their live when they have their live, and you need to go and call them out.
They don't do lives.
But that's the thing. You get what I'm saying?
They don't do lives. And then you said they turn off. Now, I have some subscribers that send me screenshots of some of these people arguing with people in their comment section
I got that too.
over on Instagram, but like these guys, they don't go live. They're not going to put
Mm-hmm.
themselves in that situation where they can expose themselves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can't do it. Anybody that's telling somebody right now in the midst of what's going on to rent a truck to run Amazon, just knowing what I know, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know,
I know it's crazy.
it's
It's
messed up,
crazy.
man. Hopefully,
Hopefully it get better with a lot of the people coming out here, but it's
everybody that's
crazy.
listening, I hope, if you're in a situation, hopefully you haven't. Hopefully, people that are still in here that are listening haven't been in these types of situations and don't get into these types of situations. Do your due diligence, even if it's not for box truck and whatever business you get into. You're gonna pay for some type of coaching or consultation. Make sure that there's already some pre-existing value there before you just send someone your money. Don't send someone your money based off them telling you, um, let me show you how you can make, or let me show you how I did it and you can do it too. If that's the whole marketing ploy,
Right.
then you need to run as fast as you
Exactly.
can. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that has uh uh you know some type of real substance and real value, you're going to be able to see it. You'll see samples of it in their
Mm-hmm.
content, and they'll provide you with so much free content to the point where you, okay, this guy really knows what he's talking about. I'm willing to take a chance on a consultation, of course, because I've gained so much
Right.
knowledge,
Right.
already for free, that I wonder what, what type of value I'm gonna get if I invest some money. So
Right.
if you're not getting that initially, then you should run, and
Yep.
that's it. I think we're gonna hear this whole scamming thing. I know you did a 3-part series on as far as the broker side. You probably
Yeah.
could do another 3-part series on the consumer side if you want. Probably more series than that.
But see, when I talk about it, it gets under my skin, and then that's when I start to call people name,
Mm.
because it get to a point so bad. Um, what I can do, I can send you the link to the video, to the
Mm.
live, and I can turn it on and I can let you watch it.
It's a private link, right?
Yes, it's a
Dude,
private
just
link,
send me the
but
private. Yes, if it's you can leave it private if you send me the link. That means I can watch it.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
send it to you and you watch it,
Hmm.
and then but I don't care. I can put it public and you know what I mean. But what I'm
Did you
saying
call
is,
out names or something?
man, listen, man, you think I play games, man?
I mean, if you don't want to stir up no trouble, then yeah, just send me the private
I
link.
call I call names out and call channel names out.
When was
I'm the
this? Like earlier this year?
This was Father's Day.
Oh.
I did a live on Father's Day. This is why when your guests come on, his main focus was if I call name. Why you think he was asking it that so much?
Yeah, see,
you,
see,
you agreed, man.
yeah, I didn't know. See, me, at Father's Day, I was only 2 months on YouTube, so when didn't nobody know who I was. I didn't.
Oh
So
man.
like when he asked, I didn't. I was green. I didn't. I didn't know what was going on. A lot of that stuff that on that live that day, like man, I was just trying to figure stuff out, man. I don't know what's going on, man. You know what
Did
I'm
he
saying?
call any name?
Yeah,
He
I just
asked it
want.
that 3 time mark. You
I,
couldn't answer.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know like y'all had some type of pre-existing
No, but see,
situation. I didn't know.
no. So listen. I did a review on your video. I did
I
a
saw
review
it.
on your
I
video.
saw it.
I clear some stuff up with you
Hmm.
and motivation, right?
Hmm.
Because again, y'all think I was talking about you guys.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I cleared it up by reviewing that video.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because even when I was doing the live, I said, man, shout out to Martin the Mentor. I was not talking about you. Remember I
Hmm.
said
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I saw it.
So this whole entire review
Hmm.
was to not only make it clear between me and you that
Hmm.
I wasn't talking about you and all that, on box truck on motivation, I wasn't talking about him
Hmm.
or wasn't talking about you.
Hmm.
Um, but in the same live that you were talking about,
Hmm.
when I said pick your best 5 YouTubers that started in 2021, because
Hmm.
I've done it before. Like I said, a lot of the live I put on private because I've done it before where I would say, name your best YouTuber that started in 2021.
Hmm.
And I would say, let's go look at their business ethic or whatever the subject of the topic might be. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Let me tell you why, and I don't have anything against any YouTuber. I'm cool. I'm a cool guy. People think that I got this grudge or there's something that I'm missing that these YouTubers have, or you know, whatever it is. I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
My issue is this: as from a moral point of view,
Hmm.
if we're coming on a platform to create contents, you get what I'm saying, and to feed people information, that's going to ultimately benefit us and the public, which is the consumer, right?
Mm.
Then why not just feed the information that is correct and give the people the truth? So my first coming out here and calling these guys out was I did a live. I said a lot of them ain't got no money like what they're telling you. I did a live about that. I did a live about how the way they carry themselves. I did a live called the difference between a worker and a CEO. Where I was and in that live I said a lot of YouTubers, they're not CEOs
Mhm.
because they want to be like each other. And CEOs don't function like that.
Right.
We build our own empire.
Right.
We don't try to be like the guy in Atlanta or the guy over here, the guy. We are self-made. We don't want to be like nobody. We don't want to come around nobody that is their purpose is to, you know what I mean? Like we're feeding off each other energy. We don't do that. So I did a live about that also. In all of those instances, they all watched the live and they all would take shots at me. You get what I'm saying? So it get to a point where I did a live on Father's Day and I addressed every single body by name and by channel. You get what I'm saying? And I break it down piece by piece, layer by layer. And that live in itself, I can send you the email. Oh man, that live opened up a can of worm. People sending me email. Thank you so much for calling this guy out. I paid this guy $40,000 and 20 grand and this amount of money and that amount of money. And man, you're so right about this guy. And I'm telling you, because again, I'm known on YouTube to just speak the truth and be straight up. You get what I'm saying? And so I did a live, right? And your guest was here. You know what he did? He went to make a video call and say I'm pocket watching. He put it on private.
Oh.
Pocket watching him. And I did back in the next time. I'm like, bro, all my pocket watching you when I own 3 trucks, you own 1 truck. I send myself to Class A license school to go get my Class A. Turn around, buy a $225,000 truck. I mean, your pocket and me is not on the same level. How am I watching yours? Is it but it's too small? You get what I'm saying? Like they're making these statements, but then when you look at where both of us is growing in business and going in different part of our channel, you're more focused on gaining subscribers while I'm over here buying semis. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I'm showing people I'm making $10,000 a week in my semi. You over here making video chasing the next subscriber. Like we're talking about 2 different money levels. I'm making 40 some thousand a month.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You worrying about who gonna subscribe to you tomorrow. So the mindset is a total different mindset, but they will
Mm-hmm.
make these videos and take these shots and think they're winning. You get what I'm saying? And I always say, guys like me laugh at you.
Yeah. I noticed that I got shots taken at me, but I hear what you're saying. What is
Yeah.
it gonna take to get you guys to have a conversation?
I'm open for a conversation, but the thing is, people not gonna have a real conversation. And see, I'm a guy that I will hold you accountable. It don't matter if it's Mark, if it's anybody.
So what I'm saying is, where did the disconnect and the difference? Was it a difference of opinion on something that caused it, or the whole
It's
rift?
no difference of opinion. I just called a spade a spade. Stop lying to people. Stop telling people come here renting box truck and make $1,000. They're gonna make you a millionaire. I just call it out, and they don't like it.
So this was earlier this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm gonna send you. You shoot me an email, and I'm gonna send you the link to the video,
Okay.
and then you watch it, and you see where I go through the whole process. I did it thousands of times.
So earlier this year, people, I wasn't on YouTube then, but I can see where. But this just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I could see where people were making a lot of money and they were caught up in that euphoric phase and thinking it was
Mm-hmm.
going to last forever, and trying to get people to come in, but you're looking at the overall scope of the
Exactly. So
picture.
they're chasing the money, and I'm in the back of their torn, be like, stop ripping off people, stop lying. And people are like, you get what I'm saying?
Right. So same situation, but that comes back into like what I was discussing earlier with like your experience and my experience. I got the same ridicule when I told people they weren't gonna make no money for peak season.
Right.
You know, I got videos out about me. I got funny memes and stuff. People, people putting funny faces and stuff like that. And you know, it is what it is. But
Right,
you know,
right,
and I ain't tripping. It is what it is. But
right.
you know, um, that goes with what I was saying earlier. And we were talking as far as experience. You're a lot more experienced, and you can see the full
Mm-hmm.
scope of the picture. If a person is new in the industry and they're actually doing it, they're physically hands on in the industry, but they don't have the tenure as you. They're only giving people value based off a year or year and a half or 2 years
Exactly.
or whatever. All right, so yeah, so I can see, but what I've learned is to just keep putting my content out.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I keep putting my content out, as long as I continue to put out good value, good content, and I'm right, people will eventually find the content and they can make their decision then. I'm not worried about who's getting sold the wrong information. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep giving people the right information. I'm gonna keep speaking the truth and being honest and telling people what I think. You know what I'm saying? And and
Right.
and the people who like my content, and I notice you got people, certain people that subscribe to certain people, but they don't mess with this person. Or you got some people that subscribe to these 2 or 3 people and they don't mess with those people. You
That
know,
that's because let me tell you what causes that too. And I'm telling you, it's such a you said something today in the live. You said the Willie Lynch, people need to read the Willie Lynch letter.
the Willie Lynch letter. Yeah, I
Okay,
think.
cool.
Yeah.
I know the letter you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is that I said it a lot of time in my life
Mm-hmm.
that people would not subscribe to my channel, and I would give the underline why. You get what I'm saying? A lot of the time, I have people. So I have good email and I have bad email.
Mm-hmm.
And people will email me, and because I'm telling them the truth, they will take the truth as me being negative. You
I
get
just
what I'm saying?
I used to get that.
Yeah. Y'all, why you always on your channel speaking about don't rent truck, man? That's the only money we got. Why you always speaking about this issue and that issue? I got a cousin right here. He's been doing it. You get what I'm saying?
But it's just like Kanye said something a few months ago. Even though Kanye's people say he's crazy, he said something I've been using. It's not the fact that you wasn't right; it just wasn't right now.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? It's just like what I
Exactly.
said with peace season. I got the same thing. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I wasn't right. It just wasn't right now.
It
People
wasn't
live in the
right now.
moment. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
forecasting stuff way ahead of time because you have the knowledge base and the experience to do that, people don't want to hear it. They're not looking at your season in the industry and you're forecasting. You're trying to prevent them from getting
Exactly.
into that. But then when it comes back, they'll remember you said, but by that time, it's too late.
It's too late. And they lost thousands of dollars.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they come back and they're like, Mark, you're right.
But see, but that's a gift for you. And when the time comes, they're gonna remember who told it. You just got to go through that season of
Mm-hmm.
where you're forecasting something down the line, and you just got to go through that tough season until it happens. And then when it happens, then the people are gonna listen to you from there going forward. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So like,
Right.
and it's just the way it is. People don't want to hear about the negative. They living
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
moment.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
in business, you have to, man, you gotta be ahead. You gotta be
E-
living in the moment, but mentally you need to be ahead.
Exactly. And I think that is the issue with me telling people a lot of the stuff I tell people on the channel. You
But
get
you
what
gotta
I'm
keep
saying?
doing it. You can't worry
not
about.
not prepared
Mhm.
only for this week but beyond. Just like people argue with the brokers. Let's use this. Curse the brokers all day long about low rate. And I'm like, guys, why are you cursing these brokers when if you understand your cost per mile, all you got to do is chop your truck up in pieces with different partials. There you go. You get the rates all the time that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to run your truck at $275,
Mm-hmm.
but your cost per mile is $1.70 or $1.80,
Mm-hmm.
once you understand those numbers, you build your truck, your cost per mile
Mm-hmm.
to that amount that you needed to be, and whatever that number become, then that's why you're running a truck, and you don't have to argue with the broker. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's so much beyond people trying to understand those stuff. You get what I'm saying? And trying to do it, people just it's you know.
It's
But I don't.
advanced.
Yeah, it's too advanced. It's too advanced. And to YouTubers who like you said, I don't have anything against YouTubers. People think I got but go back to what you say. Some people subscribe to this channel, subscribe to this channel. You have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's levels to this thing.
Right.
There's different levels. Me and certain YouTubers will never talk. We'll never be friends. And that's not by choice. That's just by it's just who we are as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I can't see you and say, yo, what's up? It's just that my level of doing business and the way I do business is way different than yours. This is why I said in a live all the time. We talk to two different people. I have a personal banker that I can call and get a loan before I even go to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I finance trucks without ever have to use a subprime bank
Mm-hmm.
because of my business reputation.
Right.
We're two different things. You get what I'm saying? Those same people would tell you, well, you're pocket watching them. So I'll bring it up. Okay, we're pocket watching you. For one, you don't even own a truck. You rent a truck. You get what I'm saying? And for the ones who own a truck, you only own one truck. You get what I'm saying? It's like, and then, like I said, you look at both of us channel. You get what I'm saying? You over here chasing one thing, and I'm over here doing another. I buy a semi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dropping now videos of me doing partial out of my semi. You get what I'm saying? I'm showing different partial, and I'm running that truck in different in each direction I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making videos showing the different loads that I have on the truck, and I'm making a killing. That's where I pour all of my effort and my time. I'm not sitting down on YouTube chasing down subscribers and trying to get likes and views. Do you? If that's what you want to do you. That's
Mm-hmm.
your type of money.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? By next year, February, I'm trying to get the next semi. So I can throw Mark the mentor in it and have him drive.
It's funny. I thought about
You know what I mean?
transitioning into semis earlier this year. I'm still thinking about it, man. But I don't know, man. That's just. I don't think that's my type of money, man. I don't think that's my type of money. I know me. I can't do it.
Right.
I'm scared of the mountains.
Yeah, it's
I'm
I don't go to Colorado since I get it, but I get what you're saying. But you know what's crazy though? Let me say this to you though. The bigger your truck is, the smaller your radius is. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, but
The bigger your truck is, the smaller. Because I'm telling you, like I run Chicago back to Pennsylvania, and I can pick up 4 or 5 partial out of Chicago. Easy.
that's an easy ride. You just ride straight down 90.
Exactly.
That's flat. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. When you have a 26-foot box truck and you have a 53-foot box truck,
Mm-hmm.
I mean a 53-foot tractor trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and you got 3 partial on that thing, the radius is smaller. So you can leave from Chicago and go to Dallas and back on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go nowhere else. You get what I'm saying? You go to Dallas and back, Dallas to Atlanta and back, Dallas to, Chicago, to North Carolina, come back. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a box truck, your radius is wider.
Right.
But what I try to tell people is a lot of the box truck drivers try to go to these areas that box trucks shouldn't even be there in the first place, like Montana, Arizona, certain part of Arizona, New Mexico, certain part of Texas. You over here in certain part of Salt Lake City, like who sent you into Idaho? Some name that was given to a grandma in
Mm-hmm.
some little town where 500 people living. Like who sent you there? You get what I'm saying? You over in Idaho in the mountain that you have to drive 5 hours to get phone service.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, man, like I drove a 26-footer
You know?
from Portland back to Chicago with a trailer, pulling a Jeep
Mm-hmm.
and coming through Colorado and like some parts of Idaho, like but Colorado, some parts of Oregon.
Yeah, it's treacherous.
Man, it was rough, man,
Yeah.
scary. Like so, that's the only reason that have because I know if I put myself through, let's say, school, and I'm going to want to try to scale it. I don't want to try to scale the semi business like how I scale the box truck business. Maybe if I were to scale a semi business, maybe two or three trucks. I think that would be enough for me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If you run, you don't even need three. Because if
No.
you do partial, if you're running both of them in partial, and you're averaging 2 partial per
Mm,
trip, you don't even need 3 trucks.
no.
No. Because
That's,
see, you're running, let's say one partial is paying you. Remember, if you look at the DAT board, you would see a full truckload paying $3,000 going to
mm-hmm,
Texas, right?
mm-hmm,
Or to Chicago.
mm-hmm,
So let's say you get some $3,000, 2,500. You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
You're gonna look the same 2-3 grand coming out of Chicago. It's just that you're gonna look it in the partial for the semi. So if I can get 2 grand from one partial and then get a next 2 grand and I run, that's $4,000 going down.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And you keep repeating the cycle.
So you said I should be able to make enough money if I were to put myself through trucking semi school,
Mm-hmm.
buy a semi truck, I can make enough money just running from Chicago to Texas and back because that's just
And
a straight shot.
that's it. You don't need to, and that's just partial. Because what you're doing, you're running 2 truck in one by
Right.
doing partial. That's the whole idea of running partial. This is why I said to people all the time, when you do partial in a box truck, you're pretty much running 2 truck in one. You get what I'm saying? So if you have a semi, you're pretty much taking, when one guy is making 5-6 grand a week, you're making $10,000 a week. So you're doubling the money, but you're using one truck to do it. That's the whole idea behind this partial thing. So if you, man, listen, in Chicago where you at, it's easy to load a semi. Easy. You drive a semi to Dallas, it's easy. Either way, it's easy. You get what I'm saying? Since I get my semi, I don't have to go to a certain state because there's no need to.
Right.
Because I'm coming out of Pennsylvania with $5,300 for a load. You get what I'm saying? Then I leave from Atlanta over to Texas with 4 different partial. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I did 8 different partial this week, and that land me my weekly income over 10 grand. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm in Texas. I'm gonna load my truck to go back over to Pennsylvania, so that way I can come back over. You get what I'm saying? And I already booked 12 pallet picking up tomorrow, $2,700. Don't deliver until Thursday.
So you're gonna buy another truck? You think you're gonna be able to find a dedicated driver to run that truck?
Yeah, because if a guy, if you're paying, if one of your load is paying, let's say your average driver driving a semi getting $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
If I pay that guy $2,500 a week, he's not gonna go anywhere. See, your driver who's gonna work for you, you gotta pay, make sure that you pay to keep him.
Yeah, I know.
You get what I'm saying? So if I'm taking you from a job that's paying you $1,500 and I slap 1,000 on it, and he's doing multiple stop, by the way. You see what I'm saying? He's doing more work. Because now he got to go to these different warehouses. You get what I'm saying? Then of course I'm gonna increase his pay. And by me increasing his pay, if I'm getting 10 grand and that's a guarantee every week, I don't have a problem giving him $2,500.
And see, I think that's where I'm. Cause see, here the work is there, which makes it harder to find people here. Because at that 2,500, my best friend works for JB Hunt running intermodal here. Local, just intermodal, just run rail yard to rail yard. You know, he's doing $3,000 to $3,500 a week.
Right.
Just local. So this would be the competition that I would be competing against to attract drivers.
Yeah, but you can't look at it like that, because here what the problem too. Here what you gotta look at. Not everybody want to work with a big company like JB Hunt.
But everybody want to be local.
I agree. But some guy would substitute the local for the money because they don't want to deal with the aggravation. The supervisor, the why you don't show up at 8, they don't want to deal with that. So if somebody said, look, I don't mind go out for 3 days or a week and come back, or a week and a half and come back home, they don't mind that, because at the end of the day they're gonna get the same money, but the restriction, they don't have to deal with that.
Right.
I load the truck up and I give these guys load. I don't hear from them. They don't hear from me unless there's an issue. Unless, you get what I'm saying? And everybody get paid and whatever. You don't have an issue. So it just all depends on the type of guy that you're gonna hire and put in the truck.
See, I would rather hire somebody I know.
Yeah, but you have guys out there that will come and work for you. Easy.
It's not as easy as it used to be.
It's not as easy as it used to be, but you still can find people that will, you know what I mean?
Because there's so much opportunity here for local work because we got all the rails. And these guys are just going to get rail yard, dropping off empties. They do some drops depending on certain customers, but we got a lot of industrial. We got Ferrera Pan Candy here. You got Tyson and all these. So they'll do 2 runs, what they're dedicated. They got to do their 2 loads for customers. And then the rest of the clock, they can either go home or they can run from rail yard to rail yard, just picking up trailers and dropping off empties and swapping out and all that. And they're paying them $100 just to do that. So he's running up his whole 11 hours, drive time, just doing that the rest of the day. And then that's how they're making $3,000 to $3,500. And they're local.
Right. But like I said, there's drivers that are of different. Yeah, I have drivers who come to me who quit their job. I'm going to give you a story. I got one dude came to me. He got 3 baby mama. All them baby mama got him on child support. You see what I'm saying? He was making $1,800 a week. Most of his money was going into child support. You get what I'm saying? So when guys like him will come, what they'll do, they'll try to go to court and get a lower payment. So what they'll do, they'll take a job that pay them an independent, a 1099. And they don't mind making the runs out of state for the few days and come back, because on the flip side of that, they get to keep a lot more of their money.
But I don't know how it is in your state, but even with the 1099, eventually you're gonna get that letter.
They're gonna pay child support, but they want to reduce the price, but they can't do that because they're doing a W-2, which the number is fixed against them.
Okay.
So if you're getting a W-2 and your money is $1,800, and that's a fixed number, right?
Okay.
You can't go to court and argue and say, look, man, I'm getting 1,200 now. I need you know what I mean? So what they do, they'll switch career or they'll switch job, get a 1099, and then that way they can just show the court that they're getting less money. You get what I'm saying? And then that now will give them an extra $500 in their pocket so they can get to survive a little bit better.
I hate that child support. I hate, getting
You
those
know,
letters because child support, they hold you responsible to send them their money. And if you don't send the money and deduct it out of their check, and if you don't send it to them on time, they start fining you.
right.
I hate that, man.
Yeah,
I hate that. They
well,
make you responsible for for them. And that's what I hate about it. I hate
exactly.
it.
Yeah. But guys switch career all the time in the trucking business for different reasons. So you will find guys that will come to you and drive a truck. We're talking about from there to Dallas, which is, guys will do it. You know what I mean? And then remember, I said you're gonna have we just have a Thanksgiving pass. So then, if a guy wants to come home, you're not gonna send him out the Thursday, the Wednesday of Thanksgiving when you know the guy want to be home with his family. But you're gonna have him load the truck up that Wednesday, so he can spend Thanksgiving, and then leave Sunday morning to shoot down to Dallas to be able to do his delivery tomorrow morning. You get what I'm saying? So you're gonna work with your guy, he's gonna work with you. You make money, he made money, and he still got time to spend with his family. So you still have those guys you can find. You get what I'm saying?
You think let me ask you this. You think it's easier to find drivers for semi trucks than it is to find final mile crews nowadays? Or
Yeah,
guys
it's easy to find a semi driver.
Okay.
It's easy to find. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's more convenient for them. You get what I'm saying? It's more convenience because even with a box truck, you still got to do a lot of labor. With a semi, you ain't got to do anything. You get what I'm saying? Like you ain't got no lift gate to use. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your 90% of your deliveries are dock to dock.
I think eventually final mile is just going to be all ICs. And it's not going to be us.
Yeah, the market is changing. It's sad, but it's changing.
Yeah, man. It's just pretty much everything is becoming IC. So like that whole master IC, and I try to tell people this, and when I was telling people earlier on, I would get like what you were saying, like the whole negative spiel, and then they come back to me like, man, I got, man, my truck's just sitting. I'm like, man, I told you, like, man, and this is for middle mile, final mile, like, man, everyone wants to do everything for themselves. So I've been contemplating with the whole semi truck thing because I said I was going to go and get my CDL like in September so I could have it and then maybe scale up 1, 2. You said 2 trucks is enough, and then just at least have the truck so I can at least be able to drive the truck, take it to the shop needs be. If someone abandons the truck, I can drive it. You know what I'm saying? And I just keep putting it off, and the longer I keep putting off, the more they keep going up on the price. It was $5,200 when I went, and I went, and I was going to give her the money, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call you Monday, and then I just never went back, and now I inquired, and it's $7,200.
Yeah,
and they keep going up.
Yeah, and you like I said, if you buy a semi, you're pretty much running 2 trucks in one. And it's easier. It's easy, and the radius is you don't have to send the truck far.
And you own your own trailer too, right?
Yeah, I own the truck and the trailer. The prices of those stuff come all the way down.
You got a Volvo?
Huh?
You got a Volvo?
Yeah, I got a Volvo. Yeah. So you can get a truck. I spent 156 on mine, but Volvos are expensive, but they don't break a lot.
So yours is manual then, right?
Huh?
Yours is manual or automatic? Manual,
No,
right?
mine is automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's a 2019 automatic, and I put a 14,000 warranty on it,
Mm-hmm.
so I got up to 750,000 miles, I think, or 700,000 miles. That's engine, tranny, the whole thing, and I got 2 years warranty on the trailer, suspension and body.
So if I go that route, then I'm gonna be in the truck then.
So but you got to think about it. I spent 156,000 just on the trailer, just on the tractor.
Mm-hmm.
Then I spend the next 55,000 on the trailer. You get what I'm saying?
That's kind of expensive for a trailer, ain't it? I thought a trailer went for like maybe
Yeah.
20, 25.
No, but I buy it in the height of what's going on. You get what I'm saying? But you got to remember, I'm running partial, so that 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 negative equity that's in that truck, it's not costing me anything because I'm making more money than what the truck is costing me.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
If the truck is upside down,
Mm-hmm.
I'm making I'm making so much money over the value of the truck.
Okay.
So if I let's say I trade the truck in and they say, well, you bought it at 150, we'll give it to you for 120. It wouldn't matter to me because I run partial. So all that negative equity from the truck, I make I'm making 40 a month over that truck. So I'm not losing.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So you gotta look at it like that. You can look at it from that point, but moving around in that trailer and that tractor from out of Chicago, you can pretty much stay Dallas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and back. That's it. That's it. And that's with you driving it or put a driver in it.
Man, you know the way I'm thinking now, like if I were to get it, man, I probably would have to dedicate at least the first year to driving it myself.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, if you go back to Chicago, let's say
Mm-hmm.
go back to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy a semi,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually find good route in Chicago. Good
Yeah, I know.
dedicated route. Yeah.
I
That will
know.
keep you in Chicago. Maybe go to Wisconsin every now and then, or maybe Ohio, Indiana. You get what I'm saying? You know those routes like Selective will give out where you know
Regional routes.
regional routes, right? And you can make good money with those routes.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like these guys are really making a killing. That's why I'm like, man, you making 3,000, 3,500
Yeah.
just staying in the city, just
Uh-huh.
running from rail yard to rail yard. I'm just really thinking like if I were to get it, like what would I really have to? I hear what you're saying with the 2,500, but I'm thinking a driver out of my home market to
Hmm.
really get them to man, I would probably have to pay more than 2,500.
Well, I got a guy who's gonna, cause I got a Newark port,
Mm-hmm.
the port in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
I got a buddy right there. He's running $1,500 a day coming out of that port, and he's only doing two stop in the morning and one in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Three stop. He's there by 7. By 1 o'clock, he's home. You see what I'm saying? I got a next guy who's doing power only out of the same port.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta, it's a people are making a killing with the semi. Because you can buy that truck and don't even have to buy a trailer. You know that, right? You can do power only.
Power only, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do power only where you just move around a bunch of trailers, a bunch of containers. You know what I mean?
So you think that's a good transition? Because I was going to ask you this anyway. You think that's a good transition? Because final mile, I know it's coming to an end.
Yeah. I mean, buying a semi is never listen. You never can lose from buying a truck in general, but buying a semi,
Mm-hmm.
that's a game changer. You understand? I have a 200 and some thousand real estate right around with, like, think about it. You have a house, right?
I got a condo.
No, I'm just saying you got a condo, you got a
Yeah,
house, right?
yeah, mortgage. Yes, yeah.
Okay, so let's say your mortgage, let's say you move and purchase a different house and
Mm-hmm.
you have that condo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That money is going to be a fixed income, passive income for you. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be $2,000, 3,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's say I buy a semi and you buy a condo
Mm-hmm.
because you upgrade your condo, you buy a next condo, right? Who do you think made more money, me or you?
You right?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, if you're gonna buy a semi versus purchase a house, I'm making 40,000 a month. You still making 2 grand a month. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if I make 40, 35, 38, I'm making more than you because my income is not a fixed income.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So even when I take out, we're talking about a month. You're making 2,000 a month. So let's just say I'm making $5,000 a month after my overhead expense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still making 20,000 a month, and you own a condo, still making 2 grand a month. So we have two different passive income. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're gonna buy it, that's something you want to think about, because even if you put a driver in it and it makes $8,000 and you make $4,000,
Mm-hmm.
that's times four. You get what I'm saying? So you're getting 4,000 a week times four. That's going in your pocket.
That's the thing. My whole thing is I know I'm gonna put a driver in that first one because
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I got too much other stuff going on to dedicate myself. But this is something I've been thinking about doing it. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I just been procrastinating. I actually wanted to do it in 2017. But for some
Right.
reason, man, I don't know why I'm scared to pull the trigger on this
Oh
semi truck
man,
thing.
I'm ready to buy the next one.
I know you see
I'm
you've already done it. You've already you've already done it. So for some reason this semi truck, I don't
Yeah.
know why the semi truck thing, it just for some reason it scares me for some reason,
Oh,
and I can't
I love
pinpoint
it.
what it is.
I love it, man. I'm getting ready. I still in contact with the guys, you know what I mean? And the
Mhm,
beauty about me buying a next semi, it's gonna be so easy because the first semi is already established in that category. So all I'm
mhm,
doing is just copy and paste the information onto the next semi.
mhm,
You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
I already got a portioned account. I already got the whole shebang set up because that account is totally different from the box truck. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go to school and then I'm gonna get your mentorship course.
So
I'll pay you
yeah,
for your
man.
mentorship course for
You know,
semi trucking, man.
yeah, man. You do it. I'm telling you. I come over by Elk Grove in Chicago, over there where my broker is. I'm telling you, it's a lot of load coming out of Chicago.
Oh yeah, all up and down Elk Grove, all in Elk Grove. That's where all the
Yeah,
big Prologis and all those companies are. All
exactly.
that's where the you gotta be careful over there. We got we're regulated within the state too. So
Mm-hmm.
we got the Illinois Commerce Commission. That's where they patrol all up and down there, and they write you tickets
Right.
like this one right here. I got one of my trucks was overweight, so they wrote me this ticket. When my driver was out of overweight, they'll sit outside the different logistics companies, and they'll be sitting. See, you won't notice them because they'll be in regular cars. But the
Mm-hmm.
Illinois Commerce Commission is like the regulatory department for the state of Illinois, as far as like they regulate like the trains, like the
Right.
electricity companies and things of that nature, and they'll weigh you. They'll do all type of goofy stuff. They pulled my truck over, and they had these type of, well, the driver's telling me, he said they put some type of weights under the wheel,
Yeah, and
And
then
the
it's
truck was
driving it.
overweight. Like as soon as he pulled out, they caught him. And they weighed the truck and it was overweight, and now I gotta pay a fine. But
Yeah, see, I don't run my truck overweight. My truck can carry up to 45,000 pounds, and I rarely run 25,000 pounds on my truck because that thing mess up your transmission. So I
see,
don't even practice running the 45,000 pounds. That's why I don't do the full truckload thing because, you know.
and see, we were just picking. He was just picking up a big, huge. It was coming from a stone place. It was just a big piece of stone. So we just didn't. It was for final mile. We just didn't. I didn't. We took the order, and I just didn't. I didn't
Yeah,
expect this rock to be that heavy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it was
yeah,
heavy, and clearly the ICC knew, and they I had to pay that like right then and there. Like I had to send that money. Like they were holding the truck, and I had to
yeah.
send that money to Western Union, to the nearest Western Union. He followed the driver to the closest Western Union, and I had to wire that money right then and there. It was that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's like your UCR now. If you don't have a UCR in a truck and you pull into a weigh station, they put you out of service. You have to pay it before you leave.
this one's for a cab card for the Illinois Commerce Commission. You got to have a cab card for the state. See, like here, it's like I be telling people, like, some states you got to deal with the DOT, and then some states, like here, I think Texas has their own operating authority, right? I think New York has. Does New York have their own operating authority?
New York is regulated too. They got the I know if
Outside
your HUD, if you get pulled over and you don't have the HUD sticker,
the HUD sticker,
that's a $350 fine.
right? Yep.
And
So
the
yeah,
HUD sticker only value 100 it's only costs $1.50.
man, it's hard keeping up with all this stuff, but you got to do it, man. So it
Yeah.
is what it is, man. These guys, our state, our Illinois, our Commerce Commission, they're
Yeah.
sticklers, man. They're sticklers, man.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
sticklers, man.
And Pennsylvania don't have any weigh station, and we don't have any weigh station, but we do have a lot of mobile state DOT offices. So that's how they get you. Cause see, they can just like you'll pull into Pennsylvania, and they will have these random rest area weigh station. They'll set up the cones and the flag and everything for you to pull in, and that's how they get you.
Yeah, I know. I never noticed that Pennsylvania did that. The only way I've ever entered Pennsylvania is coming up 90.
Yeah, that's on the top side through the mountain.
Yeah, through the mountain. You go drive through the actual mountain. Yeah. That's the only way I've ever came through.
Yeah, well, those rest areas, they're mobile weigh station. That's how they get you. But they don't have a weigh station in the state to say there's a weigh station and I exit this, that, or third. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never noticed that until you said something right now. I'm thinking like,
yeah, they don't
but you
have
know
it.
what? I don't think I've seen any weigh stations coming up 90
They don't have no weigh station.
on the
Period.
toll road, right? Not even
Nothing.
through Indiana coming up 90 or through Ohio.
No, Indiana have a weigh station and 70. Ohio have a weigh station and 70. Pennsylvania don't have any weigh station
At
and
all.
70 at all. We don't have no weigh station in the state. So what they do is, and it's crazy because you can go in the smallest town in Pennsylvania. They all got their own DOT officer that is on the road, whether it's country or a big city.
It's a state trooper or is a DOT officer?
DOT officers. The state troopers too are DOT officers, but they got their own DOT. Like I was coming through a little town in Pennsylvania. It's somewhere over by Wilkes-Barre. It's outside of Wilkes-Barre, but it's a small town with a semi. And this car, I just see lights behind me. Because, I'm coming through this small little town.
Right.
I'm not thinking anything of it. Gentleman come up, introduce himself, said that he's the town DOT officer. He called, like, give me one of them. Like, he would say, um, I'm Officer Thompson. I'm with the town of Pear,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a DOT officer for the town of Pear. I want to see your insurance. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, could you step in the back of the truck and open the trailer? And I go in the back, and sure did. When I go back there, he got a logo on the side of his car, named the town
Mm-hmm.
with his DOT thing.
So those small towns,
Small towns,
that's
they got a
revenue for
DOT.
them.
Yep.
That's
They all
revenue.
that's how they make their money over here, because they don't have no wait station.
Yep, and that's what this Illinois Commerce Commission is
So that's
revenue,
the same
man.
thing you said that happened to you. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, they just cherry pick. They cherry pick, man. And
Exactly.
if you look like you doing something wrong, they're gonna try to get you. So
Yeah,
it
it
is
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is. Anyway, man, I'm gonna let you wrap it up.
Good conversation. I know I'm gonna be on yours next Sunday night for this
Man,
big
listen, man.
Amazon.
I'm gonna drop the the link to probably by tomorrow or Tuesday. So everybody's gonna be there.
Okay,
You
well,
know what I mean? And
I'll be
yeah,
ready.
we gonna chop it up. Because people say guys in the comment section say they're not gonna miss it. They say people gonna get mad.
Yeah, I see that. Well, we'll see. So
But come and spit your truth, man.
I mean, I'm just gonna go with the flow, man. So whatever it is what it is. I pretty much said everything I need to say about Amazon. But I'm just gonna go with the flow of the conversation. It
Yeah,
is
I'm
what it
gonna
is.
put the posting up. I'm gonna put the title of the posting up. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna drop you thing.
Okay.
Mark the mentor coming to debunk all.
Hey man, hey man, I already know how this is gonna go, but it's all good. I don't care, man. It is what
Oh
it
man,
is, man.
they're gonna be there with their shotguns waiting.
Yeah, they're gonna be there with their shotgun. I'm gonna have
Yo,
my
we
AR.
totally leave this Amazon
I'm
thing.
gonna be there with mine too. I'm gonna be there with mine too.
You know what I mean? You speaking on an issue that is not in your lane, man. Why you over here?
Right.
It's crazy, but it is what it is. Let's see. Hey,
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna
I
email
really,
you. I'm gonna email you too. 'Cause I want to get that link. I want to see
yeah,
this video, man.
yeah. Just you got my email, right?
I just read something, right? What is it?
Let me send you a private chat.
Okay.
Let me send it to you in a private chat. So that way you just shoot me and I send it to you.
Okay.
But I don't care. I can drop it on YouTube. You know what I mean?
I get it out to private.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Just send me an email and yeah, I'm gonna post the Amazon thing and I'm gonna grab your picture.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we're gonna chop it up, man. But yo, next year don't think about it, you know what I mean?
I am, man. I'm seriously thinking about it. I just want to, that's a huge commitment. Because see, the thing is, I don't want to get it and then it just be sitting. I got to make sure that if I can't get a driver in at least that first year, I got to commit myself to doing it.
Right, right, right.
And then another thing is I got to commit myself to 7 weeks of
To the school.
to
Right,
school. And that
right.
was another thing, like, the time where they don't have like night school. So
Right,
like
right,
these
right.
schools are during the day, and um that's just kind of hard with my schedule. So there's some
Yeah.
things, but if I do it, I'm definitely coming to you for the mentorship sauce, because I'm gonna need, that's one lane that I know I don't know it, so I'm gonna want to enter it correctly
Yeah.
from the start, and
Yeah,
I,
man, and
I
it's
don't want
easy and like the load board to bid and load is way easier. I'm telling you, like man, listen, the semi thing is just it's less complex.
to.
You know what I mean? It's less. It's you. you have to see to see what I'm talking about, man. It's not. It's you know what I mean. It's way easy, but you know. But I'm gonna post this thing, man, and we gonna chop it up next week. And like, I'm gonna call you because what we can probably do is we can probably preview the live on your channel. You know how to do that, right?
You
Where
talking
we
about for next week?
mm-hmm.
You want
Where we
you want to
can
do it? You want to do it on both channels
yeah, where we can go live on your channel.
and yours, right?
Uh-huh. You know
Yeah, we
how
could
to
do
do.
that. Yeah, we just gotta send either you send or I send the it's in the where you going. It's the
The link
member.
for
Yeah, the member. You gotta make either I gotta make you a member or you make me a member or something like that. I looked at the tutorial for it.
well, you set it up and then you work on that and then I work on that and I'll work on putting everything together for
Okay,
the live.
okay,
That way, if when we go live, it be on both channel.
okay. So what I'll do is when I email you for the link, I'll just put the number in there, and then you can call, and then we'll set it up. That way, we'll go live on both channels, and I'll just go
Right.
live earlier
Because if
next
we're
week.
gonna talk about it on my channel, I would like your audience to see it at the
Okay.
same time. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So that
we
way we go both live and
because you're on
we can
StreamYard, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do it on both channels then. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
All
cool.
right.
All right, we'll set it up then.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right,
my
man.
man. I appreciate it, man. Yo,
Yeah,
anytime, man. You know what I mean? Great,
yeah.
always great to have conversation with you, man. Like, we just gotta keep doing what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Likewise, man. I appreciate your
So,
time, man.
and thank you all the time you bring me your channel, man. Always open up the platform so I can come and spit some games. So
I
we
appreciate
do
you.
what we do.
I
You
appreciate
know
you,
what I
man.
mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, but shoot me an email and we'll chop it up.
Hey, I'm
All
gonna
right.
shoot to you. I'm gonna shoot to you as soon as I close out this live tonight.
All right, my
All
man.
right, man. Be
All
safe
right.
out there.
All
All right.
right. You too.
Later.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So that was Kirk, guys. On track trucking. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel. I appreciate everyone for hanging in there tonight. You guys just been sitting here quietly listening to us chop up game, and I appreciate that. So obviously, as you guys heard, we're doing an Amazon thing next week. We're going to be broadcasting from both channels. So I'll be on a little earlier than next week because he goes on about 4:15 my time, so 4:15 CST. That'll be 5:15 Eastern Standard. So I won't be on at 8 because since I'm gonna go do his and we're gonna stream from both channels, then that will be like his stream, and then they'll serve as mine. We'll have it on both channels. So it'll be about Amazon. So there'll probably be a lot of people there. You know how it goes when old Marky Mark is involved with anything with Amazon. So um, we'll see how it goes next week. I'll definitely be promoting it on this channel too. So we'll see how it goes next week. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I'll be back on Tuesday night with I don't know. I got a few topics for Tuesday night. I haven't decided on which one I want to go with. I'm going to kind of fill things out based on, the sentiment and what issues that people are having. I pretty much, given all the information I can give at this point to help bail people out or turn their company around. Now the decisions are just pretty much up to individuals on how they want to do it, with what's going on. Either you want to scale down or you want to exit, and the people who are holding on just keep holding on, keep doing what you're doing. So I have some type of topic Tuesday. I just need to decide what I want to talk about Tuesday, and it's going to make sense for what's going on. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle until Tuesday. Get me something to eat. I appreciate everybody. Appreciate y'all staying for that conversation between me and Kirk. Other than that, I'll see you guys Tuesday. I'm out.